we should be good.
Okay, I gotta remember to mute.
Love the hat,
Mute
by the
my.
way.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so evening, everyone. I know I am a little late to the party, but at least we're in. We will enjoy the night. Probably not a long stream, but a stream nonetheless. I did the fly on the wall earlier today, and it was weird. I'm so used to talking. I guess talking by yourself is not a good thing. So here we are.
I popped in for that fly on the wall stream, and I was kind of in and out, and I got my taxes done, so I'm very happy.
So you can run trains now.
Yes, I can run trains now. And good evening, everybody.
Yes.
And welcome to the stream.
I will go through the chat. So, hello, Georgia Rabbi. By the way, I don't know if you were at the Moncton show. I didn't see you. I realized once I got there that I didn't know what you looked like, so I didn't know who to look for. Whoops. Also, hi, Big Easy. Hi, Surfix a lot. Hi, Scott. Well, Dave. Welcome to the channel. Hi, Tinsley Field. Wow. Can you pronounce it for me, please? I just butchered that one up.
Tinsley Field.
Tinsley Field. Thank
Tinsley
you.
Field.
Big Easy and Mustache Mike is back. Hi, Kevin Pacruel.
Kevin, how are you?
So, I'm feeling like Jim is gonna be able to talk as much as last time because everybody loved his speech. And
no. I'm sure a lot of people went to sleep on that one.
Well, it is Sunday night. It's time to sleep. So, no, but so we're gonna run some trains, including some of the gifts from Kevin because I thoroughly enjoy them. Why aren't you going right now? Oh, because I turned off the power to the track. That usually helps. All right. Also, I got an unfortunate thing that happened today. While I tried to place my beautiful Atlas Central Main in Quebec on the track earlier, it was dead. It picks up power, the lights turn on, but there's no motor hum, even at 100%, and it's not moving. So, I'm hoping it's just a contact, but it might be a dead motor. It's still under warranty because it hasn't been a year from, it's an Atlas that I bought new and it hasn't been a year, so I'll just, I'll contact them right through. I'm not even going to open it just to make sure they don't say anything for the warranty. I'm just going to contact them and see what they say, and I'll get from that point on because I really, really like that locomotive. I think that little engine is a sight to see, so, for that reason, I will try to do the correct process. I will contact Atlas and see what I get for a response from them.
Okay. Now, this is a DC model, correct?
Yeah, DC model.
Okay.
Technically, most DC N-scale stuff have a PCB, but it's just a distribution board. There's no chips, no nothing. So I highly doubt there's... Oh! I got a derailment. Off to a great start.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Once in a while, that one splits the switch for no reason. And it's once in a while only. I don't know why. Alright.
We'll say hi to RDGK. How you doing?
Oh, hi, RDGK. Hardy. It's going to be RD for his friends.
RD, yeah. Okay. And Raven Train, he's there as well.
Raven is...
Jean Pierre is jumped in. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's say Jean Pierre, yeah.
So we got a good group tonight too. Nice. I know it was an unplanned streaming today. Oh, hello T Mike Fudd. T Mike. But yeah, so yeah, I know it was unplanned, but I thought since I had the full day, I would take the time to both work on the trains and run them. So here we are. Always awesome seeing the CP locomotives on the rails. Not only are you seeing that one run, but the I'm gonna change the camera angle so you can see it better. Let's put our main and let's upsize my camera.
Okay.
Just give me a second there. So 720p and go big screen. Oh, not that.
Okay.
Behind me, can you see them well? Yes, you can. They're all parked.
Ugly mug out of the way.
They're all parked on the side on the display siding in the back. So unfortunately for this live stream, we won't be able to see them well because I still haven't gotten it. Well, I still didn't order extension like USB extensions to get cameras on that side of the layout. But I do absolutely plan to add cameras on that side, and they will be on display there. So I hope that's the site you wanted to see. In the meantime, I'll just put that back there.
I'm going to say welcome to John Train.
Oh,
John
hi,
Train
John
just
Train.
entered the chat.
Yes. So yeah, the military units are proudly on display, and the video is coming. I will put a disclaimer for the video right now. I have edited the video. It is currently uploading. I will do the thumbnail and stuff tonight to be released Tuesday. The big disclaimer, it looks like I've been crying. I have not. I was having an allergic reaction to my cat. My eyes are glossy red. So oh, Jim, you're leaking.
I'm leaking?
That's what RDGK said.
Jim is
leaking
leaking
vapors.
Leaking vapors, yes. I'm smoking. I'm short-circuiting on the inside, yes.
So yeah, no, I look high. If anything, it's not even I look like I cried. I look high, but it's purely because I had allergy. I'm allergic to cats, and I have two. So I was, handling one like he likes to be handled. Dusty just likes to be in my arms. I put him down, and I rubbed my eyes with my hands full of cat hair, and that's what happened. So, yep, you guys heard it first. I was not crying. But Karen has tears because he looked at his bank statement. No, see, that was filmed before the train show. Now, tonight, I will have tears from that one.
No, I'm the one that should be crying this evening because I owe the federal government money tonight. Yeah. So if I start crying, Kevin, I am crying. Okay, I no allergies there. I'm genuinely crying.
All right. We all.
Hey, Dave. Dave Hobart. Caboose just joined
hi,
us.
Caboose. Oh man, no, that was. But yeah, the train show was great. Jim, you've seen it all. There's some stuff I'd like to keep as a surprise for later. I think
I won't mention it.
The Tycho stuff. We'll keep it at that. But
I was very impressed with it. I can't wait for you to show it.
But for in the meantime, I wanna. It's just that I don't want to start the project now, so I don't want to tease people with it.
Oh, that's okay. Yep, my lips are sealed. Yep, nope.
But there's one thing I didn't show today for those who were in the live stream earlier today. I do have another loco that I didn't show that was, well, technically two in N scale. This loco is actually DCC. It is a silent one, which is all I cared. But I thought this was a gorgeous unit. So these are, well, this was a Dash A40C, I think, the model of this. It was a really good deal for a DCC engine in N scale, and I know I always said that I was only doing DC. The plan has not changed, but since I had gotten a good deal on the Via Rail, and now I got this one, I'm starting to look into the DCC EX setup, and I will do a dual DC-DCC, just like the HO scale, but this one's going to be all run through my computer. I'm going to do a gym of myself, all through JMRI with a DCC EX setup. I know you don't have DCC EX, but still. So yeah, that's the plan, but that's not gonna come for a while. that one runs great on DC anyway, so I may use that a little bit tonight anyway. Not a lot, but you know, just enough to enjoy it. So there's that. All right, so what's that patch? Ask Mustache Mike. Well, it's not a patch. It was a special livery that CN had for what is it called? For I think it was an anniversary of some sort. I'm not sure what or why they had it. I just know that they did. It's a CN locomotive on the side with the number 15. I know CN has been around for longer than 15 years, so I'm not sure what's that one about. But yeah, it was a nice little design on the side that I've seen in person a few years back, and I still don't know what it is. But I figured it was even more special because of that patch, so I was really happy with that. What else do we have in the chat? Just making sure.
Yes, welcome ABC.
So yes, ABC is here.
And George the Rabbi, I think we said hi to him earlier.
Yes, earlier, but it's okay. Well, I didn't make it, so I bought a CN Turbo Train instead. I think you got a better deal, George, than I did. A Turbo Train, that's not a bad deal. I'm trying to make Jim buy one, but in HO scale with Amtrak livery. He hasn't done it yet, but I'll get to him at some point.
I haven't quite caught that bullet train bug.
Yeah, well, I figured it was the I figured that bullet train bug could maybe catch you better if you got a turbo train, because you'd have a taste of it, right? And it would fit your layout as opposed to the rest of the stuff. So.
Oh yes, the Amtrak turbo train would. Yes, yeah, it would fit right in. Now, speaking of trains, I'm going to get something going on the track here real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want me to switch to your view?
I'm going to actually no. I'm going to go over here because I don't have the camera train on the track just yet.
Perfect.
So I'm going to switch to my Arian webcam while I bring unless you want to see me walk over with it. I can go right to my blue stacks here, and here we are at my desk, and I will just walk it over.
You put your camera in a new corner though, didn't you?
My camera in the corner?
No. I mean the camera, instead of being behind the roundhouse, it's a different corner this time. The Arian camera.
Oh, it's up there. Yes, I have it up there overlooking the layout. Let me. I said I'm gonna just bring this right over to the layout here, and.
All right, I'll change view so I don't get anyone sick, and in the meantime, and once it's in, oh yeah, you need to move the train out of the lift bridge. Hi, Jay. Oh, Jay's in. All right, so Jean-Pierre is here. Yes. Hi, Jean-Pierre. Hi, Jay. Glad to see you both. So, just trying to think, what train could we build tonight?
See here.
Oh. All right.
All
So
right.
what are units? Just make sure. Tinsley Field. What is the unit in front of you? So, I'm trying to think. Just making sure, because in front of me, oh boy, there's a few options. Which camera are you looking at? Because in front of me in my camera, there's no train, so I want to make sure I'm getting the right one. Hi, Easy E slot car. HL. Dave found something for you, Jim. When you're back.
What's that?
He says there's a Shinkansen Hayabusa on eBay in HO scale.
Just saying. Of course, yes, of course. Now, if I go down that route, I won't stop buying them. I'm gonna have to have them all.
That's the point. I believe that's the point.
And then I'll be setting up Cantonary on my layout, and before you know it, the whole railroad will take a different route.
He says it's blue 4-car. Do you mean this with my finger on it? Just making sure. Yes. Okay. So this one is a Japanese, a Japanese. We call it the tree train because there's trees on this design on the side. It's. I'll try to show you without shorting my layout. Like so. It's a bluish green, and it goes to pale green to dark gray to back pale green to dark green. So, well, bluish green. So that's what it is. So ABC, hey Kevin, you said recently that you grew up close to Montreal. Where was it? I am from Montreal. It was from in the north of Montreal, but like not the city, but over in the north. It's not a big deal. Making sure. All right, so just a long extension cord is all you need. Yeah. So I know that's not what you're talking about, but for the USB stuff is the USB stuff that I want an extension for. I want to get the USB over Ethernet extension, so it's a longer extension. Oh, that camera just took a crap. 15 a second. Oh, no, stop moving. Oh my god. Control Z, and fix the camera. Like so. Alright. So that worked.
Say easy slot cars, easy slot cars. You live in Florida.
Have you read that, Jim? RDGK said make sure that the cameraman on the tender knows when to duck.
Yes. I've been experimenting with the different heights, and I think I can give that another 4 millimeters, in height. That 4 millimeters may not sound like much, but it can make a big difference,
4 millimeters is pretty big according to some people. But I'd say put 3.5 millimeters, 3.5 millimeters, just to have a half millimeter of clearance. So,
Yeah, I've been testing it out. I made a couple that were too tall, and I've caught a couple of things.
What's the lowest point on your layout? Is it the bridge, your lift bridge?
It's the bridge. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's the bridge that we're approaching right now. That's the tightest clearance. That's what I've been using to measure. Of course, there's the occasional wire that hangs down.
Yeah.
And,
is it me, or did the signal not change right away?
Which, do we just go by a signal that didn't change?
Well, I didn't see it change, but I don't know if it's just the camera angle.
We probably went by it too fast. Yeah.
Probably.
If I slow the locomotive down, let me slow it down, and that way we should be able to see them change as we go through them.
Jean-Pierre, the BC Rail Dash 9, is it new? Looks sick, thank you. It's not new, but it's not old either. It's the Rapido Dash 840 CM, and I got it over a year ago now, actually. So it's not that new. I mean, it's new, but yeah. No, it's been running out for a little while. Or are you talking about the other project? You can't see it, right? I don't think you can. If you're talking about the big three colors, then yeah, it's my Rapido that I've had for a year. Otherwise, it's there's a project that I'll show later. That's hope you have a blessed night, y'all. Got to get up early. All right, have a good one, Easy E Slot Cars. Okay, yeah, that's
have a good night, sir.
Yep, that's it. All right, that's the that's the Rapido I've had for a year. So I didn't set up the auto scene switcher on this computer. I set it up during the stream earlier, so that was me taking a chance right there. But we don't talk about that. I need to set it up here, but I need to restart the restart OBS if I did that, so I'm not gonna do that. Not tonight. Oh, that portal does not look too super high either. Like
No. Like I said, I'm pushing the clearances on it. And like I said, I think I can squeeze out another 4 millimeters.
Uh, uh, you can if you want to, but it feels like you're pushing it.
Well, it's nice because the lens of the camera,
Yep.
the very top of it has very little clearance. It's not like an iPhone where the camera is in the center of the phone or something,
Right.
and you have to worry about what's above the phone, above the lens. Let's see here. If I slow this down, you should see the signal change as it goes through. It's signals around on the right.
All right. So update on the on the Quebec Central and Maine, Maine Central and Quebec, Central Maine and Quebec. I just put it on the. I just sent power to it from my regular power supply instead of the other one, the mini layout, and it's moving no problem. But it was picking up power because the lights were on, so I don't know what's up with that. Oh well. I think I'm gonna contact Atlas no matter what, just in case that the intermittent on working not working is a warning that it's gonna have issues later. But as long as it works, I'm not gonna complain.
Well, I'm not too sure. The Atlas doesn't use those plastic clips like they do in the Protos and that kind of thing. You know how the circuit boards have those little clip-on plastic clips that hold the wires on? I know I have tons of issues with those, intermittent contact with those.
No, at N scale, it's all. They don't even have wires inside of them. It's just contacts, pads touching pads, copper pads touching copper pads inside of them. So that's why.
Oh, hello, Alex. Alex in Round Valley. Hello.
Oh, hi, both of you. Round Valley.
Yes.
I didn't even notice Round Valley because it's somehow his not picture, but his C is the same color as RDGK. Whoops. And hi Alex as well. Scrapey contacts, yeah. So let's go back to the chat. I was so focused on my loco, I didn't even look at the chat for a while. All right. So, what would be a funny animation? Oh, that. Have you seen what RDGK said? That would be a funny animation. How the cameraman getting smacked in the bridge. So make it,
Coyote, yeah.
Make it actually 8 millimeters taller, but make it flexible that every time it hits something, it flops backwards. So that could be funny.
I could do like the old Lionel giraffe cars.
Yes.
When it gets near it, the head ducks down back into the car kind of thing.
Yep, exactly. Wire or copper strip on. I've been thinking about certain locomotives that do have these, since all my N scales that I have only have copper pads touching other copper pads, and like they said, scraping and stuff like that. I've been thinking sometimes of those that have issues to just solder wires to them instead of using contact pads, because it doesn't take much dirt to make that point of contact not work anymore, right? And if it's not perfectly flush, or if there's not as much tension, it could lose contact as well. So I am thinking of maybe replacing that with wires. Jay says I might not be in the wrong to think that putting wires would fix it. So it is a small spot, but I'm sure it's doable. I can prevent melting plastic by removing everything from the loco and soldering outside of the loco and putting it in place.
Well, this locomotive that I'm running right now,
Yep.
I had electrical contact issues with. It had those little plastic clips
Yep.
that hold the wires on the circuit boards,
Yep.
and one of them had an intermittent contact, and it actually burned up.
Really?
I was only getting pickup on one side, and so I opened up the steam locomotive, and sure enough, the wire had actually burned. The insulation burned
Yep.
right off the wire, and the little plastic clip that holds the wire on had actually melted to the circuit board. I had to take some effort to pry that thing off again. And of course, I had to cut the wire back. Fortunately, there was enough room. Stripped it down, and I soldered all the wires to the pads.
Right.
But those things are horrible. I don't know why Proto went with all that stuff.
They probably were just thinking about being able to dismantle it. If it was soldered, you need to desolder to remove it, or cut the wire. That's probably what they thought. It wasn't a long-term thinking. It was just, hey, this works. It puts pressure, spit it out. I'm pretty sure that's where it stopped. Mikado F40s were well known for contact issues, so soldering them fixed the issue. Well, sounds like it could be a plan if that is an issue for certain things. The problem Go for it.
No, I said anytime I see those plastic clips now, I just pull them off and solder them. I just don't even wait for them to be an issue. And he's Jason there. Jay is like you just said, his Kato F40s were well known for contact issues.
Yeah.
And soldering connections, much better than.
What I'm annoyed though is that those who currently have the issues right now are my Rapido stuff, the fancy ones. So, and I talked to a guy at the train show who had a similar one and had the exact same issue, and he said his changing the contact method did not fix it, so scared of destroying it and not being the solution. That's the problem.
That's right, Raven and Tinsley. Raven, I doubt they gave it much thought at all, and Tinsley, it's probably much cheaper to manufacture.
Probably. I lighting a clip versus heating up and soldering properly, the clip's much easier, right? So I can absolutely see that. So yes. So this is where I think I'm a little different than a lot of people here, and I talked to you, Jim, about this, but I'm gonna go on that rant again. Why I think the best part of train shows are talking to the people. Oh, good night, RDGK.
Good night.
So yeah, the part I really like about train shows, and it's probably not the same for most of you, is talking to the people who have layouts to display. Everybody loves a good deal. So I'm not going to deny that I enjoy the vendors having good deals and negotiating a few bucks off here and there. But if I had to choose, go for it. Yeah.
I just want to say a quick hi to Jersey Bill. He just jumped in.
Oh, hi.
And Central Northeastern Railway just jumped in.
He came back from his movie. He stopped the last live stream because he went for a movie night. So I guess he's back. He's watched the whole movie. All right. So Central Northeastern Railway is in as well. We'll try another night. No problem, Sir Fix-a-Lot.
But you were saying, Kevin, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. But
no, I'm just looking at the chat right now, just making sure. Have a great evening as well, Sir Fix-a-Lot. John Murphy. Hi, John Murphy. 15 years. Patches and rating, 15 years since privatization. Oh, thank you very much, John Murphy. So now I know what that patch is from. Alright, so what I was saying is I think I prefer train shows where it's people displaying their, oftentimes it's clubs with modular layouts, but sometimes it could be other types of layout or just people bringing their own, modular layouts there over the vendor section. Again, everybody loves a good deal, and I'm no exception. I do enjoy them, but if I had to pick between a vendor show or a display of layouts built, I would pick the layouts first. To me, I just realized you're looking at my chest instead of looking at me. The simple reason for that is these people all have a lot of experience, and they're literally just talking to you because they enjoy what they're doing and they want to share it. Just the same thing as YouTube is, right? It's not people trying to sell you stuff. So I've picked up a lot of knowledge again this weekend from these people at the train show. Like, first thing I do is I go around all the vendors, see the good deals, if I can pick up some stuff before they all get taken away. And as soon as I'm done with that, I bring them to the car, go back in and go look at the layouts, get inspirations, because there's a lot of great ideas, and talk to yes, Raven, it's like asking Jim about automation. Yes. um, Talking to those vendors and asking them information about their what they did, how they did stuff. I saw someone. I saw someone with who had themselves 3D designed and printed plastic boards that was flush with the roadbed that you could slide in, replacing the ties to align the tracks in between modules. He had done the entire design himself. I talked to a few guys about just their modules, what they've been doing, and how, like, I've got inspiration for a section of a layout, like his module, the guy's module, for a switching operation that was wonderful. It had so many challenges, and at first I looked at him and was like, "Oh, you said that you liked it because you don't have to follow the main line, but here you can't run around." He's like, "Yeah, that's the point. That's a challenge. You need to prepare yourself properly." I'm like, "Oh, that is smart." See, that it's all stuff like that that I really appreciate. There's 2 or 3 N-scalers I talked to, and I could ask them about, "Hey, I've got this situation with this locomotive," or, "Hey, that car's been having issue. Is it me? What do I do?" Or, "Have you experienced?" And what it was unfortunate, but reconforting at the same time, that most of the locomotive problems I talked to, these people had the same locomotive as me and had the same issues as me. So, meaning I'm not the one mishandling them. Those locomotives have bad designs. So that's the unfortunate part is, well, they're bad designs, so you're stuck with that. But, knowing that, showing me tricks, showing me, I find it so interesting. So, to me, that's worth 100 times more than buying stuff, because trains come and go, they're small shops and stuff like that. That information is so much more valuable. So, I've been progress on your list lately because I can't get good pictures of the local rolling stock without a full screen picture of each. Other time I don't know what scale I'm looking at. No worries, Bill. I've actually worked a bit on it I think 2 weeks ago, not sure, and I haven't touched it since, but that's it's fine. I appreciate what you're doing, but you don't need to do much. I don't know. I was talking about that in the chat earlier. I don't know if I'm gonna do as many unboxing or opening or mail call videos, because they're simply not me as much as working on the layouts. So I'm probably just gonna introduce them in live streams like this and then run them in their live stream, and then we'll get on with the work. So I will try to do my best to add them on my end, but thank you.
Yeah, Mustache Mike, he mentioned, how do you know that they didn't mishandle them in the same way you did?
I mean, if every modeler mishandles them the same way, that means that's the way that everybody handles them, and it was badly designed if the regular handling could not handle it. So
well, it is nice to know how people troubleshoot these issues.
Yes,
because not everybody troubleshoots the issues in the same way.
Yeah, and
it's good to get that kind of information.
It's always fun, and also just talking about some people, the way they're planning their modules for layout planning and stuff like that. It's fun. Tips and tricks for scenery, opinions, taste, stuff like that. And it was nice because a lot of people use brown ballast like I did, so I'm not the crazy guy who's the only one who does that. All right, half don't know. That's okay. Hey, Mustache, by the way, my chef's son tried Shrellish. Oh, I'm not sure what's that. Alright. Say that again. Alright, so, Jersey Bill, I appreciate all the work you've done. And, I think I did, I did some inputs 2 weeks ago in the sheets. Unfortunately for the screenshots, they're going to be harder to get because I don't think I'm going to do as many unboxing videos. There's one coming up this week. You'll see that one. But other than that, it's going to be more building on the layout, simply because I prefer those videos and I prefer doing that, frankly. I hope you guys don't mind that. And no, it's but I'm going to try my best to keep it up to date and stuff like that. what might end up happening, since you know more about locomotives than I do, I'm gonna try to do my best to fill it out myself, but fill it out to the knowledge I have, and let you fill the rest of the information if you feel like it. You really don't have to, about the stuff I don't know, like who made the locomotive. And I don't mean like Kato, I mean like, is it an EMD, is it a GM, is it GE, these type of information. Oh, say the thing about handling. Oh, okay, so if Mustache Mike is right, and you guys can record this and put me online and blast me for that one, I don't mind. If Mustache Mike is correct, and everyone I talked to that had the same issues as me also mishandled them the exact same way I did, to me, that means that we're all handling it correctly. It was just a simply bad design that it couldn't be handled normally, because every other locos are getting handled the exact same way as those ones, and everything else is fine, just these ones have issues. So if the company cannot make a loco that has to be lifted off the track to be put in its box and back on the track, then that's a bad design. It should be made to be handled, right? I'm not saying throwing it, but picking it up off the track and putting it in its box shouldn't break it. So if that was what broke it, that's a bad design, and it's still the company's fault. If I dropped it on the floor, that's my fault. But if it can't be handled with care, if it cannot even be handled with care, it needs to stay on the layout. That's a bad design. That's my take on it.
Well, that's an interesting point that you bring up, Kevin, because a lot of these plastic locomotives today, the details are so fine that you're afraid to touch them.
Yep.
You're like, okay, how can I take this out of the box without even breaking it? You're like, okay, do I grab it here? Do I grab it there? How do I set it on the track? Dare I try to put it back in the box afterwards? Because, the details are just so fine.
The funny thing is, two N scalers there told me the exact same thing. They had the exact same cars, maybe different road numbers and paint scheme, but the exact same model of cars from Rapido and others, and they all said the exact same thing. I didn't even say it, even though I was thinking it before, and I said it online here before. Rapido's freight cars have too much details, and it's making them run badly in N scale. One of them had the exact same center beam that I have. The tabs for the lift tabs, that real cars have, there's lift points on each side of the cars that they can jack from. Well, those cars have them. Incredible piece of detail. Well, his were ever so slightly bent inward from the factory, and the truck was hitting it and had issues. Mine, same car, different issue. One of the air hose that they made as an underbody detail was bent from the factory, and it was rubbing against the wheel and actually causing issue in curves. Same thing for this little hopper car. The details underneath are rubbing against the wheels from the factory. So, yeah, their detail levels are great, and their, how precise their scale model is amazing. But it's so precise that the clearance between the wheel and the car is too low, and it's too flush, so that every time there's a small movement, it rubs. Having half a mil extra in height won't make it less realistic, but at least it'll be able to run properly. So, knowing that we have welcome to the channel, Norbert. So, knowing that I'm not the only one who had these issues with Rapido freight cars made it a lot more fun. And one of the guy had bought every single passenger cars from Rapido that they made, and he's like, they're great in the box. They run fine on certain Kato Unitrack loops. That's it. He couldn't run them anywhere else because the trucks were too tight of clearance and rubbing everywhere. He was like, I like my Kato stuff because it just runs. That's the whole thing. So yeah, that's I'm glad I'm not the only one with those problems, and it's not my layout that's problematic if everybody there said the same thing, right? So. It was reassuring to know that I'm not the problem.
Jersey Bill loves my hat. Thank you, sir. I'm sporting the latest fashion. Let's see here. The latest fashion in model railroading.
Oh man, I'm gonna go grab my hats, but I don't have any railroad hats. My girlfriend wants me to get one, and I refuse to.
Hey, Douglas, how you doing?
Hi, Douglas. So let's go. All right. So Jersey Bill said earlier all right for the information for my my railroad stuff, and he said he just needed the name, road numbers, and model and railroad that made them, and I'll take care of it. No problem. I'll add to the list, and I'll let you know when it's done. Raven train. Okay, so they're talking about food. I love the. I mean, I'm just gonna let you guys talk because I missed some part of this, and I don't want to, interject in something I'm not a part of. Holy shit! The clearance under that bridge was just perfect.
Oh yes, yeah. Again, I went through several prints, and I'm just honing in that correct height.
Oh yeah,
trying to get that, just to eke through.
It seems all right. So Tinsley Field. It seems like nowadays the detail is crammed on just because it can be. It adds costs and does affect running. I have had to remove details before just to get a coupling to work. I agree with you. Details are nice, but at what cost? People want to see their trains running, and again, just like me, who loved my RDC from Rapido, two of them had them, loved theirs as well. Because those did not have those issues. As much detail that they have, they don't have interfering details, so they just run great.
Welcome, Pine Valley.
Welcome, Pine Valley. Yeah, I have found that the more detailed parts there are, the less reliable the car runs. Yep. It sounds about right. So that's also why I've been loving. If you're buying your cars new, Atlas has a line of freight cars for like $20-$25 Canadian. Maybe $30 depending on the model. They're detailed enough to look great, but not too detailed to be problematic. And they've been the sweet spot for me. Otherwise, lots of microtrain stuff is at that sweet spot as well. Those big reefer cars that I love, they're old Walters N-scale stuff. They run mostly great. I had to do complete conversion, so that's a little rough, but I mean, it's running the whole layout, so it's not problematic. And yeah, that's where even the Bachmann stuff, there might not be the most realistic, but they run great in N-scale. Not a problem at all.
Oh, Dave.
Oh,
Dave
yeah.
Scott just mentioned the brake cylinders on the Athearn F units.
Yes.
Those little brake cylinders, they keep the wheels from pivoting.
Yeah.
And I had that problem just the other day. I'm like, you don't want to take them off, but you have to.
Yep. Or at least bend them out of the way where they're not at the right place anymore. So no, it's not.
The other issue is the IHC passenger cars. If you try to change the wheel sets in the IHC passenger cars,
yep.
The wheels are too big, and the brake shoes, they rub against the wheels, and you got to try and bend them out of the way, and you end up snapping them off.
No, the trick. And there's a trick for that. Take a drill, put a rubber wheel on the drill, and put the rubber wheel on the metal wheel, so it runs and runs and runs until it heats up and clears and wears off the brake pad.
You had me for a second. I was listening to you. I'm like, oh, okay. This is some new info. Let me take notes here. And then I'm like, all right, yeah.
No, but I've had that issue with actually some cars in N-scale as well. Concord, they're is it Concord? No, it's not Concord. Which brand has the brakes around the wheels? There's one brand of passenger cars in N-scale also put brake just like the IHC, you said?
Yes, IHC. Yep.
Yeah, just like them, they had oh, it's my microtrain cars. Their 6-axle trucks have brakes on them. Well, the problem with that is those cars are supposed to have 36-inch wheels, which I put on, but their trucks only support 33-inch, so I needed to swap out and have wheels that basically look like the truck is rubbing against the track because of that. So, yeah. Sometimes their designs are too precise and too specific that it actually doesn't make it great. But, also, I didn't ruffle some feathers, but I did have some weird looks when I said that I prefer my railroads unweathered. But that I'm fine with. I'll take the heat for that one. And you get plastic coated tracks so you don't rust. Jersey Bill has some great tips there. That's unfortunate, Dave. But hey, at least you have the option, and you don't need the Bluenami app. It's still a regular decoder that has the Bluetooth function. If it was only Bluetooth, that would have sucked more, right? At least you have the option. Hi, Josh.
Glad welcome, Josh. Yep.
So, let's change some terms.
Mustache Mike had mentioned in an earlier post there.
Oh,
they put the detail on. They put the detail on to appease the prototypical purist in the NMRA. Yeah, you know they do that for the rivet counters and that kind of thing. But so you know,
I have an opinion on that, and again, it's just an opinion, and I'm not a business owner. They are, so they probably know better than I do. But my opinion is those rivet counters have no problem putting those detail bits themselves. So instead of putting them on and having us suffer, like having the people who aren't rivet counters be discouraged of buying their products and even have railroad at that point, they should just sell them separately for the rivet counters so that they can play them on and have the rest of the stuff a little cheaper because, you know, it's less expensive to have them separate so that they read a broader mass and also run better for people like us who aren't rivet counters. I'm not saying...
Hey, Ollie, how you doing?
Not to do those details, but, you know, like Walters has the train line, the main line, and the proto line. Why are companies not doing all three grades like that? Like, train lines and main lines work great. Proto line, lots of details, not as good to run. That's fine. I'll keep buying the train line and the main line stuff. They're much cheaper, they work great, and to me, that's all I need for detail.
Well, that's it. I'm under the philosophy that, you know, it has to run well first, look good second. You know, that's you got to get them running first, because if they don't run, it just ruins the whole experience.
And that's why.
Hey, Doc.
Hi, Doc.
Doc and Ollie join the channel.
Oh, nice. Hi, Ollie as well. So yeah, that's also why I think Kato is being loved so much. And Tom, now that we've tried, well, not we, but Dave has one, and it looks great and runs great. It's because they got the running first. Like, the new gifts I got from Karen Pickle, right? Those locos, and technically I had Katos before. They look insane. They have details that you wouldn't think that those locos would have. To me, the best detail part, I mentioned in my video, but of course it was out of focus at that point. They have ditch lights in the back. Ditch lights in the back makes a big difference in terms of realism. But they're not taking away from the operational aspect, right? So to me, that is big, like, positives. My Rapido ones, they have and applied grab irons that lock the shells in place, and because they're glued, you need to either cut them or rip them off to open the shell to fix it. What?
Well, I've had an issue, Kevin.
Oh boy.
Oh, hey, Caden Marvitz. I just say hi to you.
Hi, Caden, and hi, MLW as well, who just joined in.
I can't believe the Locomotive stopped where it did.
It didn't stop. Oh no.
A worst spot on the layout for that Locomotive to stop.
What I'm thinking, do you have another camera car ready to go?
Actually, I do, yes.
You know what
Let's see if we can do a rescue mission here. I
was about to say, do a rescue mission on that one.
All right, let me get set up for that. Let me get off my well, actually, I'll leave that camera up there. Let me get the other camera out there on the layout.
All right, so I'm just gonna answer some questions in the chat meanwhile you work on that.
Yeah, go right ahead. Yes.
All right.
I'll be busy for a couple minutes.
Doc and Ty, Kevin, is that a Japanese set sitting upper left-hand screen? Yes, it is. All right, so Hayden, do you have N scale? Yes, that is currently what we're running. Got it. Ben Davidson. Hi, Ben. Got any SD40-2s? Yes, I do have one. And it's on the sideline. It could be the next train if you want. That could be a thing. Dave said it's a rescue slash ramming mission. You're gonna have to do some ramming. Mustache Mike. I'm trying to talk some manufacturer into making undecorated models and sell decals set for the 50 some odd people that's not a bad idea. And I mean, I didn't realize they stopped making undecorated models. I know Kato made some up until recently, but I don't know about the other manufacturers. What I do know is, again, if you're talking to them and they're taking advice, Mustache Mike, let them know about the less detailed models for cheaper, please. Alright, so while Jim does his rescue mission, we will prepare the SD40-2 train. It's gonna be a shorter train, and we're gonna put a passenger train on at the same time. Alright. Let's move that one forward so we can clear the crossover. No.
Right. Let's. Okay, I've got my rescue train moving, but it's got to go around first.
All right, I'll switch the camera to you.
It's got to go around the layout first. I put
That's
it on the
okay.
wrong track.
All right, so Caden says he has HO scale. Nice. All right.
Find out what's going on down there.
So MLW says, what I would love to is if manufacturers would make motors like Athearn does, the old blue box, to use same out swapping and modern motors. It's super easy. That wouldn't be bad if they could have swap motors. Is that the Canadian or some sort of custom build set? Ben, that is a custom build set. It's my my dream version of the Ocean. Modern locomotives with older style cars, and even some cars are still branded Canadian Pacific. They're not even the proper via rail in the back, but it's okay. Still like it as is. This should be interesting. Yes, very much. Hello. Hi, Peter, man. Hi, Peter. Hello, Kevin. All the crew will be lurking. No problem. What is that yellow and black switcher engine? That is the same that last week. It's the CN switcher that we saw. It doesn't run great, so it won't be run tonight. All right, so let's finish the exchange of locomotive. Well, train. There we go, and back it up.
Let's see. Did somebody enter? Oh, Peter. Peter, hello. How you doing, sir? He entered the chat.
All right.
MLW, hello. How you doing? This coming May 1st will be 55 years since Amtrak took over passenger service. Yeah, and they've done a bang-up job, haven't they? Yes. And Ben Davidson, he just joined the chat. Hello, Ben. How you doing? Meningen. Peter Meningen. Okay.
Oh, Meningen.
Meningen.
Meningen, yes, sorry.
Meningen.
All right.
I'm sorry for messing that up.
So
let's see here.
Oh, Great Northern is in.
Yes, Great Northern. Hello, everybody. Hope you all had a great Easter or Passover, which, whatever you celebrate. Yes, had a good holiday. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. I baked a ham yesterday, and
you stuffed the ham yesterday. You stuffed yourself today.
Yeah, I'm having a stroke, Dave. Thank you, man. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I gotta watch what's going on down here. I got a couple of minutes before that locomotive gets all the way around. Thank you, Jersey Bill. But when Jim passes the hat.
See, I mean, Jay said, "Are you smelling almonds?" Usually what I've been hearing was not smelling almonds, was smelling toasts. I'll be worried. Well, yeah, burnt toast. If you're smelling burnt toast, Jim, let us know. And make sure with Tina that she's not burning toast at the same time.
All right, so we're gonna run around this layout real quick.
Yes. Meanwhile,
we're down, of all the places, that's Murphy's Law. That's a locomotive will derail in the worst place on the layout to get it.
Well,
that happens every single time.
Is it full on derailed or just lost power on a dirty piece of track?
I don't know. We'll find out when we get down there. We'll send the camera train down there. We're going to come up from behind and take a look and see what the issue is.
You're coming up from behind with the camera? Okay.
Coming up from behind with a camera, yes. We're going to give it a good proctology exam. I've got the camera train with a big bright headlight on it too. So we should be able to see what's going on.
You're going to probe in there?
Yeah, we're going to probe deep. Let's see. Oh, Ben, what railroad do you model, or do you run all different types of road names or a custom one?
Well, depends. I'll let you answer first because you're simple.
No, I was going to say, if that question is for me, I primarily run Boston and Maine equipment. I model the Northeast railroads of the United States, and generally it's the 1970s era that I run. I do run some steam and that kind of thing, but for me the transition era is when Amtrak took over. So I have passenger service, early Amtrak, late Boston and Maine stuff. Jason has asked him about the MBTA. Yeah, I'm retired from the MBTA. I was a bus driver for many years, and now I'm retired. But again, getting back to the layout, yes, I don't model any specific towns or anything like that. I do give them names, but I don't have any prototypical buildings or anything like that. It's more or less a giant train set with a Boston and Maine theme. And I do run Bangor and Aroostook, Central Vermont, and other Northeast railroads. But again, Kevin, go right ahead.
So mine is a little bit more loose than Jim because I'm not a prototypical stickler as someone. No,
okay.
all kidding aside, mine is very loosely based. I just buy stuff that I really like. Usually it's Canadian stuff because that's where I'm from, and I like to model what I've seen or what I wished I had seen. I do dabble in the Japanese stuff because I've been introduced by certain people. I actually started the whole thing with my first bullet train that I just really wanted from a kid's book from when I was a kid, if I really go that far in. Otherwise, I usually stick with Canadian stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with other railroads, I just know the Canadian stuff a little bit better, and I really like their scheme. But I do have, not exceptions, but other schemes are in other railroads from, the States and or everywhere else, because I like them. Like I have an Alaska Railroad passenger train. I have 2 Amtrak trains that are currently stored. I have what else? In HO scale I have some Burlington Northern. I felt like I had something else, but I think in N scale it's pretty much it for US stuff. I have a Sioux Line engine, but it counts as Canadian Pacific now, so I don't know. But yeah, that's usually what I do. He says he really loose is concerning. I'm sorry. Kevin, was Scott Rail a bad influence with you? Well, Round Valley, this is where it's the funniest thing, right? I got the first bullet trains of the group. I got mine almost 2 years ago, if not more than 2 years ago. And then Scott Rails got one. It was a different one than mine. Then that's where the bad influence started. Well, I wanted his. I got his. Then he started getting more. And I also wanted more, but I went in a different path. I went into the little commuter rail cars way. And this weekend I saw an N-scale, a Japanese tram that really looked cute. So now I really want one. So yes, but no. I am the bad influence because I started it, but then he's the bad influence that makes me want more, and now I want more, but different than he does. And I think wanting... Oh, hi, NW Eurolangs. Wanting different things is a good thing. It shows more options online. So it's not just me. Jay has some different stuff. He has some very nice bullet trains and more modern. Dave has other types of bullet trains and other trains now. Other commuters, more recent and more main city. Mine's are more the offshore, like the countryside. So that's it's different, but it's fun. I'm trying to get NP stuff. I'm assuming that's Northern Pacific. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, we are some mutual enablers. We send each other messages saying we bought something else without saying anything else, just to bother each other and make each other buy more. So there's that.
No, actually, Josh, I do not have the first locomotive. It was a Line L train, long gone. I wish I had kept it, but no, I don't have it, unfortunately.
You know what you should have, since you're in the part of the transition era? The Amtrak E8 unit with the black paint scheme.
Oh yes, yeah, I definitely want that. I mean,
Rapido made one that was really nice.
I should definitely have that.
Rapido is one that's really nice. Just saying.
No, no, I should have that. It is very nice. Let me see here. We're just coming down, and we're going to do a drive-by of that locomotive and see what's going on with it here.
Nice. So, Round Valley model says, Kevin, I agree with you. New train Dave just got is sweet. It is. Josh, Kevin, do you still have your first trains? Well, I do actually. It's no longer working, but it's on the shelf behind me. My first steamer, and my mom's place still has my first F units. They're still working. That's the best part. Those old Bachmans are tough. After that, it's just... oh, Jim, got any Athearn rubber band drive stuff? I got some RDCs that are rubber band. Do you have that,
yes,
Jim?
RDCs. Yes. I do have some of that. They're away in storage, but they were very popular. I love the RDCs. And, of course, I could only afford the Athearn. Well, actually, Athearn was pretty much the only manufacturer when I was a kid. And they were all rubber band drive. I think Northwest Shortline did make some gearing units for those, but I never geared them. The rubber band ones were always cool. They flew around the track.
So now I have another person that has something cool that I want. As if distract engineering wasn't enough, Mustache Mike just ordered the Twilight Express. You know that evasive train, luxury train that I've been wanting for a long time? Well, Mustache Mike's getting it as well. Oh, man. Alright, so... What is wrong?
There's that locomotive here.
I don't see any wheels off the track.
No, I don't see any wheels off the track either.
Maybe? No.
Oh.
I think you'll just have to switch over and push it.
Yeah, I'm going to go around and come up from behind.
I think all the trains I just rescued an O gauge set.
Oh, yes. Yes, Jean-Pierre. They're rockets.
Mine was a Bachman. Nice bend. Bachman stuff.
Yeah, Jim said that, Jersey Belle, yeah.
So, I know... Okay, so... we have different, I guess, different definitions of both tough and old. When I say old Bachmans, I mean Bachmans from 2005 to 2010. That's when my steam engine was from 2006, and that one had issues. But I got in 2007 two sets of full Bachmann starter sets with F7s in them, and those are still working to this day. And those are the heaviest Bachmann engines. That period of time, the shell was full of metal, and they were all-wheel drive. It was like the first generation of all-wheel drive in those sets. So that one is still working and is pretty tough. It needs some repair, but that was my fault, not Bachmann's fault. So I'll give credit where credit is due. So when I say old Bachmann, I'm talking 80, 81. Yeah, those are different story. But when I say old, I didn't mean that old, I guess. I meant from 2005, 2010. To me, that's when I really started modeling, and those were my first. But but yeah, old Bachmann from the 80s, not as solid, but Bachmann from early 2000, they were still very much of a machine. So,
oh, I got my 5 RDCs from the same seller at the show for $50. Here's the kicker: when I got home and I went to service them, 2 of them were DCC.
Oh,
very nice. Yeah,
that's a score if I've ever heard of one.
That is a score. And
Almost.
Jason, he made his dad mad when he pulled the F unit apart.
So yeah, I just. That's great, Mustache Mike. You got some Bachmann a Spectrum from eBay for cheap, and they're all great runners. So that's actually a good deal. No, I'm trying to think. So the SD40 is having a hard time climbing the hill with that full train. Let's shorten it a bit.
I stepped in it.
All right, let's.
Okay. Here comes here. All right, should be right around the corner here. Oh.
Oh.
Well, what the hell?
Why was it reversing? What'd you do?
Because I thought maybe I could reverse it and kind of give it a little jiggle.
So I've had this before. When they get stuck like this, the vibration of another train passing by. No, this one died.
Oh.
The headlight went out.
The headlight went out. They're both stuck back there now. Okay,
well,
evidently I got a bad rail joiner. Ah, okay. Now I have to physically go rescue the both of them now.
Now what, huh?
All right. I'm going to
all right.
Let's see here. Let me go to my Irian webcam here.
I'll switch my my side.
I'm going to go back there with a pair of pliers, see if I can give something a little squeeze, and see what happens.
You want to give it a little squeeze?
Yeah. How limber is Jim? Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. I'm going to okay. Excuse me for a minute or two while I go and
rescue.
Rescue, exactly.
That is super good. Oh, yeah. So, Dave, I don't know if it's the one I'm thinking, what you're talking about, but there is a gold train that is similar but different from the Twilight Express. Let me know if it's that one. It's a pale gold. It's also very strange, but also very nice. So, let's put more cards on the train because I have more cards. Alright, so that's coach. Why is it playing twice the same song? I need to go fix that. Oh, I know. Ellie came in, Jim. The RDC, one of the recorders were a mess and broke off the board. That's fine. Hey, at least you got that coming, and even if they don't work both, you still had a great deal on 5 RDCs, so I wouldn't complain. What's up, Jim? Oh no. Oh no, Jay. We'll have to talk about that one later. Like, what kind of broke? Did it fall off the table, or did the motor burn, or what kind of broke? I'm curious now. I broke in. Oh, okay. I got scared for a second. So the SC40 is running right now. To whoever asked for it, I'm sorry. I forgot your name. Don't take it personal. I'm bad with names. Just letting you know. But it is on the track right now. Speaking of broken trains, I will show you my my N-scale project that I got. It is in bad shape, but I tested it and it works. It is an old lifelike GP unit, DC rail. The nose is broken off, and there's a lot of glue there, so I'm thinking the previous person tried to do something and it broke off, and they used their own type of glue. That is fine with. Whoa! I have had a major accident.
Ooh. I have gone ahead and I've.
What is that one?
I'm sorry.
What are you saying, Jim?
No, I found the rail joiner. I don't know if I was able to give it a good enough squeeze, but they're running through now and coming out from below.
Nice.
Jeff's Trains, how you doing,
Hi,
sir?
Jeff.
Happy Easter. Let's see, what have I missed? Called a fascia. Okay.
All right, so I'll be right back. I'll actually switch to you.
Yeah.
Because I need to go fix my major derailment. I'll show first. So
yes.
back stretch. As you can see, there's a line of car on the side there. My passenger car derailed, and it all fell over and made all my freight car fall over. So, yep, that's gonna be fun.
The gremlins are out tonight.
Yep. So I'll switch to you, and I'll let you handle the chat, and hoping you don't have issues while I'm out.
Yeah. The two trains are coupled. That's okay. So I'm just going to let them run out here and come up to an area where I can reach them. And let's see. Let's go on the chat. Let's see. Jim, you need to get a claw so you can grab them when they get stuck back there. Oh, yes. Yeah, I need some grabbers or something like that. if I can get, what I actually need is a little step stool or something. I have a ladder there, but it's kind of tough to negotiate a ladder in there. Yeah, call out the rescue queue. Rescue. Yep. Hey Kevin. BC Railline Lifelike GP38 is you. It runs really nice. Yes. The Lifelike Protos, they do run well. Yeah. Lifelike Bachman, they've come a long ways. I remember in the 70s, you couldn't get them to run to save your life. But the Protos and the Spectrums, they've become nice runners these days. Let's see what else here. Hey Kevin. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I just saw that. And we'll bring these trains around up to my walkthrough, and I can separate them again. And hopefully, I don't have that issue again down there. I probably will. It's at least I didn't have a 25 car train down there, because I'd have knocked everything over trying to reach back there. You two may be nervous, so be right back after a smoke. Okay, Jersey. Yeah, Bill, you have a smoke break. I'm gonna have my vape break right now. HO Lifelike Pancakes. I've got a remotoring idea I'd like to run by you, Jim. Okay, what do you have there, MLW? The Lifelike Pancake ones. Yeah. So I've thought about doing some of the dual motor ones. Taking two of the pancake motors, putting them in one locomotive. Maybe double heading them with 4 motors, and just kind of jumpering wires between them so that you can get multi-wheel pickup. It looks like a robot caterpillar. What's Dave showing us here? Is Dave let's do it. Oh, let's see here. Looks like a robot caterpillar. Not sure what he's referring to. There must be something else going on that I didn't see. But again, yeah, the Lifelike Pancake motors, it's that lousy 2-wheel pickup on each side that just kills them. The pancake motor itself wasn't. It was cheap, but it did run. If you took care of it. So the casing. What if you remove the coils and 3D print gears and a worm gear, melt a hole in the casing for a shaft, and run it to an Athearn motor? Ooh, that sounds like a lot of work there. So the casing, you remove the coils, 3D print gears, and a worm gear. Yeah, 3D printing gears, I really don't trust them. I've tried 3D printing gears before. Both, you can't do them with an FDM printer with a filament, but I've done some with the resin printers, and unfortunately the resin just doesn't hold up. Well, from my experience, anyways. I mean, nothing beats the molded nylon gears that they have. The chic whatever. Okay. All right, Mustache Mike. Yes, the Shikishima. Okay. Let's see here. Scott, Dave Scott here has posted a link here. Let me take a little peek at that. Oh wow, look at that. That almost looks like a shock nose front on the front of it. Let's see. Unfortunately, I'd put it up there in the channel, but I can't. I don't have that kind of authority on his channel just yet. I have a friend who does PLA, and I don't know if they would survive due to heat. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is PLA is a low temp 3D printing plastic. They have other types of plastic. Oh geez, but they have higher temperature ones. Well, of course, ABS is a higher temperature one, but they have some that are even better than that. But I don't like printing with those because they give off a burning plastic smell when you're printing. PETG, that's the one I was thinking of. Yes, PETG. You know, it's worth a shot. I mean, I like I said, I tried PLA and resin and didn't get any success, so I stopped there. PLA would be okay for engine shells. Yeah, PLA is good for for engine shells. It's just with the FDM printers, you can't really get good quality detail, especially with the with the curves and everything because of the the stepping with the layering. So you kind of looks kind of pixelated. Jeff's Trains. Hope everyone had a good Easter. Yes, hey Jeff. Yeah, it was a good Easter. Thank you.
I am back, by the way. Just
okay.
So you don't worry too much.
No,
I'm gonna go.
We were talking about 3D printing gears and that kind of thing, and what kind of plastics hold up, and what would be good. Again, I've never had much success with 3D printing gears. The plastics just don't seem to. But again, I've never used PETG.
Fair enough.
Just AB. I've used ABS, but I don't like it. I'm sorry, Kevin. Go.
No,
go ahead. Jump right in.
So I went back to the chat since I was left for a little while, and I found some stuff I forgot to answer earlier, so I want to go back to that. So I saw an answer. MLW Jim, you need to get a claw so you can grab them when they get stuck back there. Doc and Ty says he has the same lifelike GP38 that I got in BC Rail, and he says his runs really nice. Mine actually runs great. It's really just a looks issue, which I can fix it, so I'll fix it. You two made me nervous, so I'll need a smoke. Alright, Jersey Bill. The HO lifelike pancakes, I've got remotoring idea I'd like to run bed. Oh, Jim, you might have someone who wants to talk to you about some stuff. Oh, okay,
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, sorry.
We did. We did discuss it.
So, all right. So, Mustache Mike said it's the Shikisima, the gold one. So, and Dave posted.
How is that pronounced, Kevin?
Shikisima. I don't know.
Shikisima. I don't know. I just couldn't. My tongue just couldn't negotiate the word.
Too much Shikishima. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so yeah, I'm just making sure I'm catching up. I have
Hey Kurt's Trains, how you doing this evening?
Hi Kurt's Trains. If I miss one of your messages, anyone in the chat, just put it back at the bottom and I'll try to see this. I scroll through, but it jumps around on my side when I scroll, so that's a little annoying from YouTube. So if you just if I miss your message, just put it back and I'll try to reply to you this time.
Yeah, MLW. Yeah, there's nylon and it's toxic stuff. Again, my 3D printers, they're in a closed environment, and anything beyond ABS, it's just that burning smell. You gotta crank the heat on the print head way up. It's just nasty stuff to work with.
Mustache Mike, us pronouncing the Japanese train name, you guys make it sound like an STD. It is not.
Oh.
Jeff, my O gauge and N scale trains are running very well. Nice, good for you. Good. So those the SD40 is running and the F40PHs are running with the long train, and technically there are two new cars in that train. I changed a dome car. I had a burgundy branded dome car from CP Rail, and one of the things I found at the train show was a orange CP Rail train set, passenger train set. So it's so it has a mid-train dome and an end-train dome with that in that train right now. Oh, Doc and Ty, he's
going to bed. Yes.
Have a good
David,
night.
have a good night, sir. Thanks for joining us.
So yeah, I'm having even more colors in my passenger trains, which is a little odd because I liked having it all the same, but at the same time, I really want to run those cars, and I don't have a train for those cars yet, so they're great as it is. I'm not going to complain too much. Alright, so that's running great. Let's not push our luck. If it's running great, let's leave it as is. At some point tonight, I will do what is not recommended, but not as bad, which is running my new DCC engine on my DC setup. I've tried it and it runs fine. It's just, it takes more power to start, but it runs super smooth and it really looks good. That Dash 8 with the 15-year of being independent, according to, I think Mustache Mike told me, told us in the chat. So that's going to be nice. And Jeffrey, I'm adding some more buildings and firefighters. Nice. Speaking of building, I have 2 kits I could build. I don't have a, don't even have a spot for them, but I want to. So I do have an idea in mind. I just, since I didn't buy any turnouts at the train show, I can't move my current turnouts. So still could build them. They're 5-minute kits. I'm trying to add to my parachute team. That makes sense.
I'm gonna go separate these trains now.
Oh yes, correct. I need an airplane. If it's an RC plane, you're gonna have fun with that. It's hard to fly. Right, I put aside in another spot the plastic insertion for the windows. They're just clip-on kits, so I can reopen them to put on. That could be nice. Alright, I have 2 air tankers. Oh, that's nice.
All right. Let's back here. Yeah. It's out of the way.
You're out of the way.
Yeah, all right.
Is it me or is your train flying?
It is. I'm slowing it down now. I may have to keep it flying. Just
to make sure it doesn't stutter.
Make sure it doesn't stutter back down there again. We'll see what happens.
Right.
We're going to tempt fate again.
Oh.
Backlighted with code. Okay. YZ. As far as O gauge, I bet I get a lot of my O gauge from Menards. Oh yes, I don't model O gauge, but I'm familiar with Menards, and I tell you, if I were an O gauge, I'd have a ton of their stuff. From what I hear, it runs nice, and it's very reasonably priced.
I've heard that. I don't model O gauge either, but the thing I've seen the most that I'm jealous of is their building kits. They have really great buildings for O gauge Menards, and I wish we had those options in other scale. Like really nice buildings with lighting and everything for reasonable price. So those are
Jersey Bill was just suggesting I do a keep alive system in it. With a giant capacitor or something. And
well, what are you waiting for?
There's so many projects I have to do, and it just it gets overwhelming at times.
You say that, but your taxes are done, so you have time.
Taxes are done. Yes, they're done. Yeah. Nobody pause and look at my private info. There it is. My taxes right there, all done.
They also have HO scale. Of course, they just don't have N scale. Oh, man. Alright, so, whoop. Okay. Put a card in the way. So this one, I believe, the motorized... Nope, it's on that side. Yep, it is. I need to turn that one around. That's
I have the hat, so I'll get it done. Yes, Jersey Bill. I know. I've got my railroad working hat. I should be getting busy.
But why wear these hats, like, exactly like that? Was there a reason? Like, for visibility or something? Was just...
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the history. Does anybody know the history behind this hat? Why it's like blue and white striped and kind of looks like this?
Like, we all seen this. We all know it in North America as the railroad hats, but I don't know why.
How dare I mention that word, Jim? Taxes, yes. Yeah, as far as the hats go, of course I understand the overalls, they're comfortable and your pants stay up, and those are work clothes. And of course I understand the big gloves, the big heavy gloves, because those boilers are hot, and you don't want to burn yourself on them. But the hats, I don't know. I don't know why they kind of look like that. It was like that so no one would steal it. Yeah, Jersey Bill. Exactly. No one would want it.
You're just jealous that Jim has one and not you. That's all it is.
Oh, this was given to me for Christmas, I believe.
This year or another year?
It was actually this past Christmas, yes.
Nice.
It was hanging on a hook above me, and we were doing the. We decided to jump into the stream this evening, and I was like, oh shoot, I haven't showered yet, so let me throw the hat on, keep my hair looking, so I don't have my hair all over the place, You
don't want to look like Dave, don't you?
No, I don't want to look like Dave. Hair all over the place. Oh, here we go. We're going through that area now. We're gonna see what happens.
All right, let's look at that.
Let's see here. Keep running. Keep running.
Hey.
Don't you dare stop.
I thought it stopped. I don't know
Keep
why.
Going. Keep going. Keep going. All right. I think we're past it.
All right.
Oh, that's another thing too. If I can bring this topic up.
Yep.
I don't know about everybody else, with their layouts and everything, but expansion and contraction with rails, that wreaks havoc on my layout. When I first built the layout, I soldered every joint, and I've come to regret that immensely, because the rails have no movement, and I get all these, I think they call it ribbon rail. And the flex track just goes all over the place. And I've gradually, you are in a dungeon. yes, Jason. But anyways, as I've been, correcting these issues as they come up, I've been replacing them with rail joiners and not soldering them. And still I get that expansion and contraction, and the rail joiners loosen up. And of course, I get intermittent contact. So I just like to know how everybody else deals with that kind of thing, if they have that problem. What the best way to deal with that is. I throw in jumper wires here and there, but again, it just wreaks havoc on my layout.
So of course, the type of tracks you're using makes a difference. The location you are makes a big difference. And derailment again. Why? Same spots, same cars, and it was just a random derailment. Why? All right, so I'll
yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
let you
Raven,
take
they can
over.
go around and cut joints in them to allow for expansion. But what I find sometimes is that the rail tends to bunch in certain areas, and if I put a cut in the joint, I find out that in the wintertime when it gets cold, that little slice that may only be a 16th of an inch in the rail turns out to be a quarter inch, in the wintertime. And it's like, the locomotive has to jump across it. And I swear sometimes this rail stretches. Some of this, code 100 track is stretched into code 83. And then, of course, it expands again in the summertime. And then, of course, it all bunches up and they get all that ribbon rail again. It's probably the wood moving, not the rails. Yeah, that's. I'm sure that's part of the issue, Kurt. Is that the wood? I'm sure is not stable. The wood expands and contracts with moisture and humidity. But again, that's an issue that I have to deal with, and I just especially some of these tracks are hard to reach. And that's one thing that a mistake that I've made. That if I can give a piece of advice, make sure that you can reach every piece of track on your layout. Don't put something in an area that you can't reach. I have a yard up here at the roundhouse. It's against the backdrop, and I can't reach the tracks. So it makes switching in these yards a bear, because of course the tracks, they're yard tracks. They don't get used very often, so they collect dust and get a little dirty. And as soon as I put a switcher on it, it stalls, and it's actually you can see it in the camera right now. That set of yard tracks off there. But again, designing a layout, make sure you can reach every piece of track. It makes life so much easier. And if I had to do it all over again, I would redesign it so that I could reach absolutely everything without issues. Okay, dehumidifiers. Yes, I do have a dehumidifier down here. Let me back up here. Who mentioned the dehumidifier? Kurt's Trains. Yes, he has two dehumidifiers. I have the same thing down here. I run them during the summertime, and they fill up with water quick. I have to keep emptying them. Let's see. Peter. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher that name again. There was a restaurant in Chicago by Midway Airport in the 60s that used an early airline plane for the billing. I ate there once. Sky High was the name. I'm thinking of modeling something like that. That's unique. That's what I like. Is when I see things on people's layouts. Sometimes you go to these layouts, you see the same building kits time after time. Like, oh yeah, I recognize that Walters kit. I recognize that AHM kit. There's a million of those Atlas water towers out there. But Jeff's train, you're off for the night. Have a good night, Jeff. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, unique structures. You see the same buildings on layouts, and every time every once in a while you see a layout with a unique structure, and it really stands out because it's something that you don't see at other places. Raven's asking, do I have return vents in the basement? When I had my cabinet shop, moisture was my enemy. I had to control the environment to stop my wood from changing sizes overnight. I do actually. I have, of course, I have nothing in the floor because it's a basement. But I do have overhead vents for the heat coming in. And do I have return vents cut in here? I know I have return vents for the upstairs because the duct for the return vent runs right beside it. I don't think there are any return vents down here in the basement. No, they're not, because the heat would just come down and go right back up and out again. But using your HVAC to control the environment will make drastic changes. Yes. Temperature control. is a big thing. But again, this is a basement, and I don't. It gets cold down here in the winter because I don't heat it 24/7, and of course, during the summertime I don't AC it 24/7 or anything like that. So there are drastic changes down here with the temperature and humidity. Let's see here. Forward in Florida. Hi, forward in Florida, by the way. On the real rails, they pre-tension the rails in the cold, so when they expand, they are still aligned. Yes, I'm familiar with that forward. I know when they lay track, they try to lay the track when it's an ideal temperature. Raven Train, Jim, you need a few. It will draw the moist air from the basement and remove the moisture. Yes. Yeah, I have a dehumidifier that I keep down here that I run during the summer. And, I don't run it 24/7. But, being in the basement, the temperature and humidity are pretty unstable down here. And I'm sure that's 90% of my problems.
So I'm back after multiple derailments.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. So also, I was listening to you at the same time. Just listening, and I do what the difference is. I think I do is I have a mini split. They call it does both.
Yeah,
AC,
I'm familiar with those. Yeah, mini
and
splits,
those keep my temperature and humidity at very near the same point at all times. So that helps a lot. But also, what I do think is that the type of track you're using.
It's a good night, Round Valley.
Oh, good night, Round Valley. Sorry about that. The type of track,
okay.
for me, being a Kato unit track, it doesn't have as much expansion and contraction as long strings of flex track. Plus, being joiners at every joint, it also accepts the small difference at every joint. So I think that makes a difference. The length of each piece makes a difference. So I wonder also if the type of wood you're using to put your as a workbench makes a difference, because some might expand more than others, or be more sensitive to humidity, I guess. So
yeah, the framework is done in number 2 pine. So that's it is what it is. But it's funny, the decking that it's on right now, where the steam locomotive is on now, that plywood base is cabinet grade plywood. I got a good deal at it was either Lowe's or Home Depot. It was like, of course we're talking 15, 20 years ago. It was only $20 a sheet, which was an absolute bargain at the time. So I bought a bunch of cabinet grade plywood for the lower level. But by the time I went to build the upper level, of course that price was nowhere near around again. So I had the cheap plywood for up top. But the bottom level, the yard level there, is done in cabinet grade stuff, and it's worked out beautifully. It hasn't moved or anything. It's been very, very stable. Yeah, Raven, that is a steal. Exactly. That's exactly why I bought it. I was like, wow, I'll never see that price again.
And you were right.
Yeah, and I was right. Ellery Parsons, what up, Train Universe? How you doing?
Hi, Ellery.
Russ is rocking O trains and stuff. You're
Hey,
still
Russ.
streaming, Kevin. Wow.
Well, I took a break and I came back, so I guess it's not a real still streaming. I've been cheating a bit, I guess. So.
Let's see. First of all, hello, Russ. Hello, hi, Jason. Ellery, hey. Let's see. Hey to Russ. And of course, say hey to Ellery. So,
Lost Souls. Hello, Lost Souls.
oh, Lost Souls, how you doing? And hey guys, welcome if you're in. Just getting here. I hope everyone's having a good Easter. Yes.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
it was a very good Easter.
I hope you do too as well.
Let's see. Oh, nothing exciting. Just watching trains and chilling out, working. I'm getting the 50 subscribers so that I can go live. Oh, you need 50 subscribers, Lost Souls? Let's see what we can do about that. Let's go to channels here. Let's see here. Lost Souls, 45 subscribers. Well, I'm going to subscribe right now. And let's get a link for that. Let's do that. Copy. And I guess I should ask first. Lost Souls.
Go for it. Oh yeah, if you.
Go for it. Okay. All right. Let me paste. All right. That should be the link right there for Lost Souls. So I just subscribed, and let's see if we can get them a few more to get to 50.
I'm sure we can. It's with a can-do attitude that we'll get there.
Yes. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Eugene, how you doing? Eugene, Daniel just jumped in here.
Hi, Eugene. Hi, Daniel. Can you run
Let's
that black
see.
switcher? No,
Yeah.
Daniel. I mentioned it earlier to Josh. It's not the best runner, so for tonight we'll keep it on the sides. It's a nice little look. It looks great, but unfortunately does not run as good as it looks.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta say hey to Daniel. Hey, Daniel, DAN. Well, I guess now I got to prepare my video for the giveaway. Okay, Lost Souls. Just sub. Very good. All right.
Yes, Daniel, this is the N scale.
How about getting me to 80 subs, Jim? Absolutely, Russ. Let's take a look here. Let's go to his channel here. Russ is rocking. Let's see here. I am not subscribed to Russ's channel.
What are you doing, Jim?
Yeah, I am now. Let's get that link. And let's copy that. And let's paste that. Okay. Oh, Jason beat me to it, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Jay's a fast one.
Yep. All right. And oh, no problem, Russ. Thank Jason. Jason beat me to it. Was adopted. Okay. All right. Actually, does anybody else want to shout out now that we're doing those? Is there somebody with a channel that's like looking for some more subscribers?
I saw someone saying he had 30.
Oh, hey, Tommy Sangles. Okay, Tommy. Yeah, how you doing, sir? I didn't see you there.
Oh, Kirk Strains want some?
Kurt Strains, you want me to grab that, or you got it, Kevin?
If you can grab it, I'm trying to.
I'll grab it. I'll grab Kurt Strains. Yeah, let's go to his channel. Kurt Strains. I am subscribed to Kurt Strains already, which is good. Let's do a copy and paste there. Copy. Boom. And paste. And that is for that was for Kurt Strains.
Yes.
Let's see who else here. Kurt Strains, thank you. You're quite welcome, sir. Let's see who else. When I am okay, let's see who else. Did anybody else ask for one? When I am chatting about trains, I am respective. Yes, that's very good. We talk about trains here on the channel. We avoid politics and religion and that kind of thing. You know, we don't want any animosity to. Does Scott Rails need a shout out? Do I need to post Scott Rails' channel?
I don't know if you should. He's been a little naughty sometimes.
Yeah, he's a little naughty. No. I am not running anything. I can get the links for you. 23.
Hi, Brian.
Oh, Brian, how you doing, Brian? Let's get Brian. Hey, Brian. All right, Brian. Okay. Does anybody else want a shout out? Don't be shy. If you want a shout out for your channel,
I guess if
speak right up. We'll get him out there.
If Dave wants it, we can give him a shout out. I guess. Did we even give a shout out to Jay?
Dave want a shout out? Ellery has 3 cats. Okay, I have 2 cats myself.
You know what? Who should get a shout out? Jay. He's a great moderator and supporter of the channel, and he hasn't been shout out.
Jason. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll give Jason a shout out. It's actually Jason can shout himself out. Let's go to Jason's channel
Plot
here.
twist, every link Jay has posted was his own link, not everybody else's link. That would be quite funny.
Copy, yes. There we go. Let's give Jason's channel a shout there. Paste. All right, that's Jason. Fresno Jason. That's his channel here. Fresno does N scale as well. So he does that. Let's see what else. What have I missed here? Oh, John Pierre's channel.
Yes.
Okay, I just put up John Pierre's. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I am subscribed to John Pierre. Let's see. Who else is around here? When talking about train shows, I do perk up. Yes. And I tell you, when I go to train shows, the best stuff is under the tables. I always search those boxes under the tables.
Yes.
And I tell you, that's where you find you'd be surprised what you can find in those boxes under the tables.
That's where you find the gold.
That's what I do. I go to those train shows and I see all the nice brand new stuff on the tables, and I'm like, and they're like, they want retail plus for these things, and I'm like, I can pay retail anywhere. I want the used stuff. I want the little gems in the boxes underneath. The stuff that you can get for like $2 or $3. That's the stuff I love to find. Oh, Rob, yes, hi, Rob. Let's say hey at Rob. How you doing, sir? How was your holiday? Was it a good Easter? Inslee Field, so jealous. Okay, you have okay. Kitty Shinkansen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jay.
Well, did I miss somebody?
No. I meant Jay has the Hello Kitty Shinkansen, but technically it's not his. He bought it for someone else.
Oh, I missed something so happy. Welcome, something so happy.
Oh, welcome.
Yes, I'm just going back to the chat.
It's something so snappy.
Something so snappy. Oh, not happy, but snappy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Back up here. Say hi. I just want to make sure that I say hi to everybody here. I don't miss people. Did Dave make a funny? Laugh out loud? George the Rabbi? Say something? What did Dave Scott say? What did I miss?
I actually missed it as well.
Oh, I only need another 88,624 to get to 100K. Oh, okay. That's what I missed from Dave. All right.
Yeah, you can put Dave.
Let's see here. Dave should be giving us shout outs. Yes, Jason, it's your daughter's. Right. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, Midsummer Railways end sale. Okay, I was missed out on a welcome. Well, I am absolutely sorry, sir. Let's give him a big welcome.
Welcome.
Hey, at Midsummers.
And
Okay.
let's give him a shout out as well, since we missed him, and just in case.
Oh,
he
okay,
also
absolutely, yes. Okay, Midsummers. I was missed out. Well, we'll give you a welcome, and let's give you. Let's see. Oh, actually, I should ask first. Do I have permission, Midsummers, to post a link for your channel? Give you a shout out there. And let's copy that one. And I will subscribe myself, Midsummer. So I'm now a member of your channel. He has 319 subscribers right now. Let's post his link. Yes, of course. Okay. Let's paste that link.
Jay already did before asking permission. Jay's a
Oh,
naughty guy.
too late. I did it. My bad. Oh, okay. Okay, that is Midsummer Railways N scale. Okay, we just posted a link there. We got to get on some subscribers, and like I said, I just subscribed myself, and let's see if okay, that is to my that Fresno Jason. Okay, that is it to my corner.
He's going in the corner for posting stuff without
Oh,
permission.
he's going to his corner for a timeout, of course. Okay, yes. All right. Yes. Let's see.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, we got a new subscriber.
Oh, I was going to say, for those of you who are unaware, I am James Emerson. Jim E is what I go by, just in case some of the new listeners here don't know who the James Emerson is. That is me. I am James Emerson. And of course, Kevin is Kevin's Tiniest Trains.
Oh. Tiniest train, is that what you said? Kevin's tiniest trains because I run N scale?
Tiniest train. Yeah, tiniest something, all right, I guess.
Really have to redo all of this. I will do what I
Sub
must.
to everybody. Now it's up to you guys to keep me entertained. Yes. I am subbed. Entertain me now. Okay.
I've done my part of the deal. Now do your part.
Yes. John Pierre. I am James Emerson and I paid for this message. Yes. Let me tell you about my years on the MBTA. Hey, let me tell you about my signal system, even better. Hey, Mustache Mike, be on the lookout for my next video. There'll be a very special shout out for you, buddy. All right. Jean Pierre. Wow, laugh out loud. Yes, okay. Let's see what else is going on. So what's going on, Kevin? Have you solved your issues? Correct.
Well, the derailment issues, yes, but yes. I'm saying yes, but I didn't actually solve anything. I just put it back on track. No, I've been trying to build that simple kit that's a 5-minute kit, and somehow every single one of those clips were not bored out properly, like the okay. Snap-in. So I've been breaking half of the clips. If we don't talk about that. So let's hope the few remaining detail parts don't break off as easy, but I'm not too hopeful, quite frankly. They are fragile after all. They're just tiny plastic clips that you put on. You just put on. It's gonna be. Should be a nice kit, but yeah.
All right. Let's see. Lost Souls Railroad. Well, I guess now it's time to unveil the special project that's in the works.
I mean,
let's see. Daniel's just tagged you, Kevin.
Oh, yep.
It's the steamer by the roundhouse and the crane a good runner.
No, these are... So, I haven't finished that area, obviously, but what I'm going to end up doing is the problematic runners will be around the roundhouse off the track, meaning that those will be the as if the railroad kept them from parts or to repair later. That is the idea, and the so those that
Jay
are
just
yes.
I was going to say, Jay just tagged you again. Your Alaska train has the same type of car my very first Bachman train set had.
Well, technically, it is a Bachman as well, so it makes sense.
Yeah, Jay just said rip track. I need a rip yard.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of need a rip yard too. I've bought not recently, but I bought a few items that either were bad purchases or meant for parts, so they're just sitting ducks waiting for their fate. And I'm thinking of making a full yard of those, or a museum, not a museum, but like some rail to, if the shells are good, to show those off, so at least that they're not just parts, at least they're, you know, being seen. I don't know. I don't like the idea of buying something to take it apart and destroy it, but some stuff is basically meant for that, right? If it's already broken, saving the parts out of them are the minimum.
Iceman, welcome. Iceman has a question for you.
Yes, go for it.
Kevin, did you get my message on your Instagram?
I may or may not. I haven't opened my train Instagram in months, so, or at least weeks. So if I did, I'm sorry. I don't know if I may have received it, but I did not open it. So technically, no, I guess.
Okay. And Daniel is asking, what is that loco next to my favorite blue and gray loco?
Oh boy. Which one there? Is it the next to the blue and gray? Oh, that is the BC Rail project that I got, that I was showing earlier. And derailments again. I swear tonight I broke half of my clips on that project, and half of my trains just keep going. So we're gonna change trains after this clips. And I'm gonna put Jim on as the main presenter, and I will just try to finish this clipping.
I was thinking about changing trains myself, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, the last thing I want is a 25 car train stuck down there in that in the abyss, in that chasm that I can't reach. Like, the last thing I want is cars derailing all over down there.
What do you mean you don't want
Kevin's
derailments?
hanging airplane in a flat spin. Yeah. Yes, please go do what you need to do, Kevin.
I'm
what I'll do is
almost
maybe
done.
I'll open the drawbridges. We'll take a look at those.
All right. So that does not look as good as it should, because I broke off the clip, half of the clips, but that's fine. Let's just ignore that. Worst case, I can remove them. I don't need that decoration to keep the kit on. That's what I'll do.
Iceman Rails. Hi, everyone. Sorry I haven't felt up to doing my next video on my channel, everyone.
That's okay. We all need some breaks.
That's all right. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Jim has been taking a break from his YouTube for years now, so...
Yeah. I've had a nice break. Anyone have the Cato Orient Express? It is nice but expensive.
I do
sure
not.
It is. Cato, tomato.
Well, are you going to mispronounce tomatoes as well?
Well, you know, I mispronounced Katie for years. When I first, got Katie couplers, I was calling them Kadi.
Kadi.
Couplers. Yeah. Till I, realized what exactly I was mispronouncing. Let's see here. Let's stop right there and raise the drawbridges. 1, 2. That's it.
All right.
All right. We'll let the boat traffic through.
All right. Let's.
Jim thinks George the Rabbi is a Jewish priest.
What?
Oh, Dave. I
missed a part of that sentence.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Dave's getting me in trouble again. Dave is making sport of me, Kevin.
Oh.
All right? He is not allowed to make sport of me on this channel. All right?
Not on this channel.
Sport of me on his channel. I can almost see the... I know. I've got the wrong camera train up here for that. If I had the camera in front, you'd get a better view of everything. But there is a boat there. Let's see. No worries, Iceman. I'm waiting for equipment to come in for next videos. Jim just finished and e-filed my taxes, too.
No one pronounces tomatoes right. My mom from Australia, and she doesn't say it how Americans said it. Well, yeah, Australians will say it differently for sure.
Hold on a second. Dave is bringing up something here. It is not rabbi, like cabbie. Is it pronounced rabbi or rabbi?
He said it was French, so I'm pretty sure it's rabbi.
Oh, it's rabbi. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been mispronouncing that.
Well, at least you didn't call him the ribeye.
The ribeye. Or I didn't pronounce it rabble.
Yes. I don't know who would do that.
Who would do that, Kevin? Rabble.
The I's and the L's look very similar on my screen. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, they do. Okay. We'll close these bridges here. And
all right, so I can go back to my camera so you can change your trains if you want to.
Yeah, let's get back and get that train moving again. 4012. There it is. Go to my room. Yes, I need to go to my cage, Jersey Bill. Put me in timeout. But I could be wrong. JB is already in the he is already in the dungeon. Yes.
Can't get much lower.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what else is happening here. Heard it pronounced rabbi all my life. Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, I
think maybe
depends on where you live, or where, where you're. But yeah, as Dave said, so it's Georgia Rabbi. So since it's French, that's the way it should be.
George the Rabbi. Yeah, maybe we should consult the gentleman whose name it actually is. Yes. George the Rabbi. Okay. George the Rabbi it is. Don't be, if we really mess up people's names, please don't take offense. Just feel free to correct us, because sometimes we really butcher people's names. We don't mean to. It's just our illiteracy showing. That's all it is.
Well, yeah, it's I'm a big part of that problem, so I will absolutely take my blame as well, like rabble. Well, I don't have an excuse. I'm just bad at pronouncing stuff, so I'll put it that way.
Well, for you, Kevin, in your defense, English is a second language for you.
Yeah.
So
I think I've been around you guys for long enough that I should be able to pronounce stuff, but well, we are French Canadian. Yeah, as Jay said, French Canadian. Not even Canadian, just Canadian.
The rabbi will be with you, Jim, with a scalpel if you need him. Well, Jersey Bill, it's too late for that. he's already made his visit with the Moyle has already made his visit.
See, Russ, that's
Moyle
also a
is
thing.
the tool,
Time,
isn't it?
Time makes
Moyle is the tool they use, correct?
I scalpel I know is a tool, but I don't know for rabbi.
Yeah. No, there's a specific name for that specific tool that they use to do that specific procedure. The Moyle is the one that does the job. Thank you, Jason. Moyle is the one that does the job. Okay.
So, I think I could run the Alaska Railroads for fun, and on one track.
Person, yes. Not sure on the tool. Okay. Wow, we got. Is that where this stream is going to go now? We got to Google that, find out what the tool is.
Why do you want to look up tools on Google?
Oh man.
New subject, please.
New subject.
Yes, Kurt.
Okay, yes, new subject, Kurt. Yeah. All right, new subject.
All right, so I said I'd run the Alaska on one track. What's a train that could run great on the other track?
Fresno Jason says, "Oh, I was not going to touch that." Yeah, that's what the Moyle said. That's what they work on. I'm not a tool.
So to answer Russ's question, that is not about tools.
Jason. Jason just took a huge dump on me. If you Google tool, Jim, your pick will come up after tonight. All right, Jay. Okay. You're gonna go for it, Jay. All right. Wait till your stream. Okay.
All right. So to come back to Russ,
okay. Lost rules.
Subject.
No. Well, actually, no. Before we change the subject, Kevin, Ismail is the name of the tool used to perform the Jewish circumcision.
Oh,
thank you. We have been educational tonight. I have learned something this evening. I have learned that the Moyle uses an Ismail to perform that procedure. So, Kurt's asking me, Jim, how does your signal block system work?
So I'll go answer Russ first because the poor guy has been waiting for his answer.
No, actually, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
How was the slot car scenery going along? Well, he actually unfortunately missed my last stream this afternoon where I wasn't talking because I was actually working on that scenery. I did a bit in a corner near the tower where the diamond of the track is. I did the full grass covering trees and everything. And I've started to build the mountains just in foam for right now around the slot car track so that there's a base that makes sense. It's not just tracks up in the air. So there is actually progress on that end. So, all right. So I had seen another message. So just making sure I'm not missing anything. What is the sign next to your buses? I'll show you. Just a second. Lower Back Bridge. So it's still unclear. That is a 7-Eleven. Got that from eBay Japan. That as well. That was a nice little 7-Eleven from eBay Japan. So I thought it was neat. Wait, let's not see this. So let's change some trains on my side. And
voice. All right, model is the guy.
All right, so did we see any requests other than the last guy made that request, but is there any requests right now? So I want to move the two local. Oh, yes, I know exactly what I'm going to put. I need to. What is your experience with eBay Japan? Well, I mean, it's still eBay Canada. It's just I order from Japan, and from Japanese sellers in Canada, like in Japan, but I'm Canadian with eBay Canada, and so far it's been great. I haven't had any complaints to any of the sellers, honestly. fast delivery, fast shipping, cheap shipping. I always take the cheapest option because it delivers with Canada Post, which avoids exaggerated import fees. They're still import fees, but they're not exaggerated. And I don't know, it's just been good. I can't really complain. Of course, I say it's fast, but it's relatively fast, right? It's 2.5 weeks minimum because, you know, it's literally the other side of the world from where I am, but it comes in, so I'm not complaining, right? It gets here. Cause
I just want to welcome Not G to the channel.
Yes.
Not G10.
Hi, Not G. Well, if my memory serves me correct, his name is technically Geo, but it was too short, so you put Not G10.
Oh, okay, I butchered another name. I apologize.
Oh, well, that one's written differently. I'm paying about 25 average custom from Japan. Yeah, that's about correct for me as well. It's a pretty decent. So yeah, the import fees from eBay Japan is good. I didn't order yet, but apparently Amazon has more expensive pricing for shipping and import fees. So if you order from Amazon Japan, it's going to be more expensive, but eBay Japan is just fine. And when I say eBay Japan, I mean eBay Canada, but it's a Japanese seller. That would be it. So I saw other questions. Kevin, can you run some Steam of the Gray and Blue Shortline Loco? Well, the Gray and Blue Shortline Loco, I don't know if I'm going to run it tonight, even though the motor worked earlier. It's been behaving weird, so we could run the Steam with the Alaska, one on each track. Geo is correct. Perfect. Russ, do you have any recommendation for a new laptop? Well, that's a big question. A loaded question. I'm gonna fix the trains and get back to that. Okay. $24 for Canada Post. That makes sense. Anyone experience with Markland? No, not on my side. They look. No,
I've never had any experience with that as well either. And let's see, not Geo.
Ooh.
Let's see, Geo is from an old bar story. Wrote Geo on the blackboard for the pool table, and the drunk guy read it as G10. Not is indeed cause most online services have a minimum of 4 or 5 characters for usernames. Okay. All right.
Well, it is not G10, it's Geo, so that is correct.
Geo. Okay. Let's see. Jason, okay, back with bacon, a beer, and a full mag?
Oh yeah, because he's ready for some shots.
Oh, okay. All right. Doc, David, just a quick pop in and out, 2 things from living in Japan for a little more than 3 years. Kato is actually pronounced Kato, not Kato. Kato. Not correcting anyone, but you are correcting everyone. All right, Kato. All right, we've learned something else here this evening. We know what a moil is. We know what it's Kato. This is an educational channel, Kevin.
Yes.
That's I'm learning a lot here this evening. I found Lost Souls earlier. I found a Halloween train from Markland, and I'm not familiar with the brand. Never had it before. But for $100 for the train, I'm trying to think it's a good deal.
So
Markland trains are expensive. I just
go for it.
I'm sorry. It's just that middle, the middle quote unquote rail, with the little bumps in the middle. So it kind of runs like Lionel wiring. I don't know because I've never run them before.
So that was about to say, the only thing I know with Markland is if you get a set, make sure it's a full set because it doesn't run on the regular stuff. It has its own rail system and everything, which the 3 rails, the upside is you can do loop backs without having any special wiring, right? You don't need to do auto reverse or anything, so that's nice. But it's its own setup, so you need the full thing. You can't just run their trains on your regular track. Unless it's mentioned to be working on regular track, which that's a different story.
Basically, a DCC controller the size of your thumb. Let's see, what did I miss here?
Everything.
Yeah, I think I remember Clintonville saying something about that, Russ. Back up. Model train outside runs like Markland with lost souls. Excuse me. All right.
So, where is that? So, everything is off. Let's bring this in.
Something so snappy. Markland is 3 rails. Yeah, I believe the original Markland was actually 3 rails and not the little bumps they had in the middle. Now, modern Markland has the little bumpy things, down the center of the track.
So I'm not saying it's impossible, so Lost Soul. It may just be a 2-rail system, the one you found, but most of them, their middle rail is not a rail. It looks just like there's nails in the ties, but it's a bump at every tie. So that's how they work the 3rd rail, in quotes. It's not an actual rail, but there is a 3-rail system there. Logging out, no problem, Doc and Ty.
Logging back out. Good night for this real. TV is being turned off, but Kevin, please let me know what it needs. I might have the parts you need. Okay, good night, Doc.
Thank you.
Iceman, don't know if the full countrywide tour for Big Boy is true. I know they were doing a lot of Midwest, but not countrywide. I've never seen it here on the East Coast.
I think this year they're doing a full US tour, but I'm not sure. Oh, Jay is correcting me, so I guess I'm corrected. I think also they make TT stuff. They make a lot of stuff in the European side, Markland, so that is a lot of information. So
okay, Jason says this year they're going to the East Coast. I'm gonna have to keep an ear to the ground for that.
Yeah, you'll hear it coming and the size it is.
You think they'll run it through Bridgewater? Oh, by the way, I live in Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
We'll see.
So hopefully they'll run it. They'll run it on the commuter rail system right through Bridgewater, Mass. Here for me.
So Doc and Ty David said, Kevins, are you wanting to paint the handrails on the old BC rail engine? What's wrong cosmetically? Is it missing? It's missing its old front end. Well, by missing is it's fallen off. Like the boat in the joke on the front fell off. So whoever had it before was rough. That's why I got it for cheap. It runs good, like the motor's good, but it lost the old front end, its whole front end, which I have. It's just in pieces. So there's that. But the handrails are also a little bit rough, but it's overall needs a good cleanup. Re-glued the front, re-glued the handrails properly, but it is doable.
Yes.
That's that. After these trains, I want to run my my new DCC engine. It looks really good. I know they're going to Pennsylvania shortly. Oh, Mustache Mike says that. So, I know you're not in Pennsylvania, but you're not the furthest away from Pennsylvania. I'll drop down my camera a bit and sit down for a little bit. Like so. Alright.
4014 will be 3 hours from me next weekend. Okay, Jason. I expect to see lots of video.
Yes, you better. Alright. Tinsley, what is the name of that DCC loco? It's an Atlas-840C, not the CM with a small nose, with the special paint job for the 15-year anniversary of being an independent company. So,
Hey, good night, Central Northern.
Good night, Senator Northern. Thank you for coming.
Northeastern. Right.
So it's already, wow, it's already 12:30. I guess starting late makes you,
Jason says, I want to go, but we shall see. You better go, Jason.
I know exactly where it will be. Lots of spot to see it. Well, if you have the reasons, you have the means, you need to go now. So I guess we're gonna go for another 30 minutes if you don't mind, Jim. And after that, it's gonna be 1 a.m. for me, so I'm gonna head out. Technically,
No,
I've been streaming since 3 today, so I had a break, but I needed.
I understand you're tired, Kevin. That's fine. I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say?
You lost your train? Look at the camera.
Yeah, I did. Oh my God, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I don't know what everybody's doing, but tonight is Sunday night, and I know a lot of people have to work in the morning, so I know it's tough to be up this time of night, especially on a Sunday night.
I was fortunate enough that my work gave me tomorrow off.
Okay.
For Easter Monday, so that's why I took the liberty of streaming tonight. But like you said, a lot of people tonight are, needing to get up for working. I know also there's time zone, so it is not as late in Jason land, but it is a little late here.
Yeah.
Raven, my alarm goes off in 4 hours. At that point, just don't go to bed.
Oh, yeah, you may as well just stay up, Jason. Jason, Raven. You may as well just stay up all night, Raven. Don't go to sleep.
Yeah, it's 8:30 for Jay, so that really makes a difference. My sister says where her and her husband is going a couple hours away from Cayenne once they move. Might be able to go see the big boy in person next year. Oh, that's nice, Iceman. I hope you can go visit it. All right, Mustache Mike, have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Have a good night, Mustache Mike. Thank you for joining us this evening. 11:30 here and off tomorrow. Okay, well, I'm glad you have tomorrow off, Inslee Field.
And even though I'm off tomorrow, that just means I'm going to wake up later than usual. I still have some things to do around the house. I have some honey-do lists tomorrow, so I'm going to enjoy that. So I think we all know what
Train saying good night as well. Good night, Kurtz.
Good night, Kurtz. I think we're not all aware of the honey-do list, so.
Yes. Let's see. Russell's rocking. Okay. Originally from Nashville, Tennessee. I grew up in a small hick town. I just lived in New England briefly about in 2015.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And Sunny Trains and Jim. Happy Easter. Good night to you too, Josh.
Josh? Yep.
I have a do it now list Raven has. Oh, that's a little more severe than a honey-do list.
A little more like get it done or else kind of list.
Yeah. Do it now and do it good.
At Kevin's Tiny Trains, Daniel has a message for you. Kevin's Tiny Trains, how do you keep your hair that shiny?
Trick is, don't wash it. No, I'm kidding. I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say it, Kevin, but no, you beat me to it.
No, I don't have any tricks. I wash them every 2 days to keep it, clean, but at the same time, overwashing apparently is not great. So that's my middle ground. What else? I don't do much special about it. Like I said, I keep that clean every 2 days. I have just a regular shampoo Nothing special about it, and yeah, that's basically it. Oh, derailment again.
Are we talking about your personal hygiene, Kevin?
Apparently so.
Is that how late it is now?
Apparently so.
Your personal hygiene.
Well, I think my turn.
Oh, Tinsley Field. I'm single, so I make my own lists. But my dog is pretty bossy. Okay. Let's see. Oh, talked about Train Mountain, Russ. Let's see here. Who said that? Jason. Jay. Talked about Train Mountain, if I remember. Yeah, that's a place I've always wanted to visit.
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of Train Mountain, Kevin?
No.
Oh, that's one of those, 7. Is it 7.25 or 7.5 inch gauge? I believe it's 7.25 inch gauge. They're the ride-on trains.
Oh, never mind. I've heard of it. I just didn't hear that name. I guess they use another name when I heard of it. That's possible.
Yeah, it's a massive. The layout is really not even a turn. It's actually a railroad in its own right. Miles and miles of track.
Right.
2,200 acres of 7.5 inch gauge. Okay, Jay. Oh, I got stuck again.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I know where the joiner is. I just gotta give it a little tap. Just give it a little tap and send it on its way. But I have to put that on my dry erase board as a thing to fix.
Of your honey-do list?
My honey-do list. My honey-do train list. I have a dry erase board. And I every time I get an issue like this, I put it on the dry erase board. And, when I get time in maintenance, I go down and check things off one by one. So I will, let's go to another camera real quick here. And actually, you'll see me in that camera.
We don't want to see that. No.
Oh, I'm going to go walk around and try and free that up. Just give the track a little tap. Let's see here. Ooh, it's quiet. All right, let's go back. There we go. I had to pull out the ladder to reach it.
As usual. It's always
No,
the
I'm-
worst spot that it gets stuck, so...
I'm just going back in the chat. Take a hammer, Jim. Yes, Jersey. Take a hammer. Let's see. I spend 2 weeks straight up there every 3 years. Otherwise, I visit here. Okay. I'm surprised people haven't heard about Train Mountain. Yeah, it's all trains. I know they even have a layout there. I've seen YouTube videos. Yes, yeah, Iceman. Train Mountain. That's that's a bucket list trip. Let's see here.
All right.
Triennial. Oh, the triennial. Yes. They have a triennial at Train Mountain. Definitely a masshole. Yeah, I've heard that term before. Thank you, Lost Souls Railroad. Yes, use a definitely a masshole. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. Jim, we should coordinate.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Can you
Kevin,
repeat that, please?
that late. Coordinate a trip out there so I can be there. Maybe get you behind the throttle of a steamer. Actually, that kind of thing isn't a horrible idea. We try and get together. Find a central location that we can all get together, just to just to meet each other. Because to be able to put faces to names and that kind of thing.
I think we should all go to Dave's place and just hang out at his place.
Well, we won't tell him.
Nope.
We'll just all show up there one day.
Yep.
Right?
Just, hey buddy, what's up? And just, start shopping around in his collection of locos. Just...
Yeah.
Sure, there's some stuff.
We'll all crowd down in his basement and just start poking at things.
But we won't say anything until he does a live stream, and then we'll just send him pictures of us in his dungeon, which is underneath his layout, up until, we get out of there and he's like, what are you guys doing there? And we're like, hey, you told us to be in your dungeon, so we're in your dungeon. What do you want from us?
Lost Souls here just made a comment. I'll give you one thing about New England, especially Massachusetts. They got some beautiful scenery. I was like 45 minutes away from Salem on the Purple Line. Yes. Well, the Purple Line is the Massachusetts commuter rail system. It's a heavy rail system, via in the GO train in Canada. Via would be more like Amtrak in the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do have some nice scenery here in Massachusetts, especially out in the western part of the state. I live in Bridgewater, which is pretty much the southeastern part of Massachusetts, not too far from Rhode Island. I actually live on the outskirts of the Bridgewater Triangle. No, the Bridgewater Triangle. Nope, there is such a thing as the Bridgewater Triangle. You can Google that. It's a triangle area here in southeastern Mass, where all strange shit happens. We have our own creature that supposedly frequents the triangle, and I forget what it's called. But yeah, you can Google it. There is a such thing as the Bridgewater Triangle.
Is the creature called the Gym?
Yeah, it's me. I sneak around in the woods. I actually live next to an old cemetery, very, very old cemetery. And I'm so close to the cemetery that I have a stone, a Gimosaurus. I have a stone wall that goes around my property.
Yep.
That cemetery. Actually, there's some Civil War veterans buried in the cemetery right next to me. But I have a stone wall that surrounds my property, and I was making a fire pit, and I pulled up some of the stones to make a fire pit. I said, "Look, I can sacrifice some of these stones from this wall." I moved the stones from the wall, and there was a line of headstones underneath it.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a line of headstones underneath it, about a half a dozen or so. I was just kind of shocked because it's not the wall that borders the cemetery, but I was like, well, okay, all right, let's, okay. I know there's an old cemetery across the street, I'm sure it's, it's very old, 1800s kind of thing. I'm sure the area wasn't well defined when they built it. And, when they did the housing area, they just put this stone wall on top of it. And
yeah, but
long story short,
whoever put the stone wall saw where they put the stones, so whoever that person was very aware of what he was doing.
The stone wall is extremely old. But yeah, my wife Tina, God, I love her. You know what she did? She dug up the headstones and made the fire pit with the headstones.
Oh.
Yeah. And she kept one of them because it had her mother's name on it.
Wow. You're joking. Right?
I kid you not. She's asleep, so she took when her mother passed, she took the headstone to Maine and she used it for her mother. Yeah.
Well, that's a few bucks saved. But what were the odds to have the exact name, though?
Yeah, it was just, it was just stunning. It didn't have any dates on it, though. It had the name, but no dates. These stones were evidently a part of one of those family plots. Where they put the big stone in the center?
Yep.
And then they put all the individual names around it?
Yep.
That kind of thing. It was those kind of headstones. Where they had the big family stone and they had the individual names, that they put the headstones around it. Yes, that is kind of morbid. Yes, it is, but it's true. No wonder why Jim's trains are acting up. Yeah. So yeah, the fire pit is made up of 4 headstones. Just and she insisted that they use them. So I just and unfortunately they didn't hold up very well. Because it was a fire pit.
Yeah.
We had the fire in there, and then at night when we put the fire out, we'd hose it down, and of course the high heat and the water on the rocks and the stones didn't fare well. So they cracked and they split up, and yes, haunted layout. And hello, Kyle. Hi, Stevens Kyle. Is joining us. Kyle Stevens, hello.
He's joining us for the last 15 minutes. Nice.
But we walk through the cemetery every now and then, and oh, that's a damn shame, Jim. Yes, I know. Please, my wife gets these ideas. I burn their souls, Jim. Now you're totally toast now.
It's a damn shame. It's a damn. That's what you needed when you had flooding a few years back.
Yeah. I have seen some freaky stuff. I do have a ghost story.
Oh.
I won't get into it now because it's getting late. Well, actually, Kevin, should I tell a ghost story?
Sure. At this point, why not?
Okay. Sure. I'm going to tell you one of my ghost stories here. As I said before, I live next to a cemetery. So I'm sitting in my living room, and I have these, sliding glass doors, like patio doors in my living room that look out, into the yard.
Yep.
And it overlooks the cemetery. Okay. So I'm sitting there in my living room. I'm just watching TV, and this funeral procession comes down the street. Right.
Yep.
And it comes down the street, And I'm watching it. They all go over to the grave site. They bring the casket over and everything. And I kind of felt, uneasy because here I am. I can see them in full view, and I'm sure if they turned around, they could see me watching them. So I'm kind of like, I felt uncomfortable. So I just kind of like drew the blinds and just kind of went away because I didn't want to feel like a voyeur, peeping tom kind of thing. So, anyways, time goes by, and eventually I go back outside and they're gone, and I'm like, okay, who is it they just buried? I could not find a freshly dug grave or a fresh headstone. I went out there. I walked over the cemetery. The cemetery is only about the size of a football field, or half a football field even. It's not a very big cemetery. I went out there and I walked all over. I could not find any fresh dirt. I couldn't find any fresh headstone. I couldn't find anything. And I'm thinking to myself, did I actually see what I just saw? Did they actually, did these people come down? There weren't any vehicles. They just kind of all walked over and gathered. And they put this casket in the ground.
Are you sure you didn't fall asleep in front of the TV and you dreamed all this?
No, I didn't. No, I did not see a hearse or anything like that. All I saw was a bunch of people just gather up, and I saw a casket go into the ground. And I'm kind of second guessing myself now. I know what I saw, but I couldn't find the fresh grave. I'm looking over there, and I'm like, Russ is like, you look kind of like Santa ghost in your dark room, Jim. Yes. But I could not find, and I just, it's just one of those things that I just can't just take it at face value.
Yep.
Was I just seeing? I know I wasn't just seeing things, but I'm like, did I just not find the grave? Could I just not find it? But I'm like, a freshly dug grave is pretty easy to find. There's a lot of overturned dirt, a headstone, but everything is like all grass and kind of overgrown a bit. And I just oh well, that's my ghost story, by the way. So I thought I'd share that.
There's so many things you could say that maybe you said there was one in front of your house, like the other side of the street or something like that. You just saw the reflection on that side. There's so many things we could say that's funny.
Yeah.
Also,
exactly.
right now, I wish I could contact one of your son. I think it's Tyler that lives with you. Message him and be like, go sit. Sneak into the basement and just put your face beside your dad just to see.
Oh,
just to
before we
scare
go, Lost Souls asked a question about the camera.
Yes.
I post a link for the camera that I'm using. It's a Wi-Fi cam, but unfortunately, they just weren't available anymore. I have 2 of them. I wanted to buy some more, and when I went in to buy some more, I got them off Amazon. They just they weren't available anymore. I had posted the link several weeks ago when I first put them up there, and Polisi got one. Dave couldn't find the exact same camera, but it's a 5G camera. It's 120 degree field of vision. It's a 1080p camera. And it works really well. I'm very happy with it.
Oh, Jersey Bill has a theory for your ghost story. Maybe they could not find the family headstone and left with the body.
Thank you. Now I feel real guilty now. They meant to bury it next to my yard. They were looking for the stones that I removed. I shouldn't say that I removed. I'm going to say that my wife removed.
Well,
I did not remove them.
They were hidden
I said,
under.
what are you out of your mind? She dug them out of the ground. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Tina? You leave them where they are. Don't move them. But she did, and it is what it is. My wife gets a little stubborn sometimes. She just does what she wants, and I just stand back and let it happen. I say, so I don't know. I just think it's really cool that you got a camera that's like riding along with the train, gives you a whole different perspective. It does. And these cameras, they they're battery operated, by the way. This camera has been running all night on a single charge. The charge lasts 3-4 hours. It's got a good frame rate. It's got good resolution. It was a little tricky to get it set up to work on the computer. I had to get it to set up on my iPhone first, and then use an emulator, an Android emulator, to get it to work on my computer. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here.
I think it's going to be time to call it very soon if you can't speak anymore.
But thank you, Lost Souls. I take great pride in that camera, man, because it took a lot for me to get that to work on the computer.
Jersey Bill, poor Jim, cursed by his wife like we all are.
Yes, cursed by my wife, exactly. If any of you gentlemen out there have been married for any length of time, you'll understand that sometimes you just don't argue with your wife. You just, okay, I know what you're doing. It just go do it,
Yeah.
I'll fix it when it becomes a problem. It's funny because I had called the Department of Public Works.
Yep.
Well, actually, I called the town. I said, "Look, I got headstones on my property. What?" And the woman was like, well, "That's not our problem. You got to call the Public Works Department. They're the ones that maintain the cemeteries in the town, because we have a bunch of old cemeteries in the town." So I called the Public Works Department, and they're like, they didn't care. I'm like, okay, you got headstones on your property? Well, we don't care. So I'm like, well, if you don't care, I don't care. So,
I'm just glad when she dug them out, she didn't find a hand or a head. That's all that matters.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I really don't think there's anybody under there. I think that they're old stones, and whoever built the wall just found these stones laying around and put them in the wall as a base or something like that. I don't really think there are bodies under there, but you never know.
I also don't think so. The fact there were no dates either means it might have been just, someone passed way before but didn't have the body either from the war, from a sickness or whatever, and they just put a stone to remember without putting actually, the body there. So that might be what happened as well. The fact there's no dates, because even if it was a family, the date would be on there.
Well, there are family plots across the street, and the center stone has all the dates.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it has a list of all the names and the dates on the center stone. Because it's like a monument kind of thing.
Yeah.
And all around are the names, just the names.
Right.
So, but again, I don't think there's anybody under there. I think they just got misplaced from the cemetery. I'm sure they came from across the cemetery, but I don't think that there's anybody actually under there. You two can rationalize anything.
I mean, I'm superstitious, but I'm also, I like to rationalize. I don't like not understanding stuff, so if I can rationalize something, that makes me feel at ease because I now understand what's happened, right? So,
Lost Souls gave us a little story here.
Oh.
Lost Soul says, I originally got married on Halloween in a graveyard under a full moon underneath the hanging tree. And the guy that married us, I swear, was a legitimate vampire. Okay.
So you had a good marriage, I'm thinking.
Underneath the hanging tree. Aha. Underneath the hanging tree. I'm just curious if he's referring to what I think he's referring to.
I'm pretty sure he is, yes. I don't see what else could be referring to. Jersey Bill, how long did that last?
When I say hanging tree, I'm talking about like 200 plus year old oak tree. You could still see remnants of ropes in the branches.
Raven, was she hanging? Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay, Raven. It's funny. It's just.
No, it's all right, Raven. It's late at night,
Yeah.
and the conversation gets a little loopy. So don't sweat it. Unless Lost Souls is offended.
Yeah. No, we don't want to offend him either. It is though a very, like he said himself, it was a very gothic style of wedding. You know.
Not very long, let's be honest. She left 2020. I had long hair halfway down my back. She left. I shaved my head. By Jim's ghost. Oh, man.
All right. Well, on that bright note, how about those steamers? Cool, huh?
How about those steamers? Cool, huh? Yeah.
So let's talk about my new engine.
Yes, please. Go right ahead, Kevin.
So, well, it's gonna come back around. Of course, I just said that when it left the seeable area, where this cam you can see it in the back a bit. There's the that's my DCC engine, the dash 840C, not M, which means the small cab. Apparently, I'm saying that because I'm comparing it to the dash 840CM with the big cab, and I just really like it. Back bridge, it's gonna come around on the bridge, then come back around the workshop, and come down. It's
I just said hi to Spence.
oh yeah, for sure. Beetlejuice. Was it South Park that did something like that, but it was Tupac they were calling? Oh man, that was funny. South Park did a lot of funny stuff. Oh man. But yeah, no, that new engine, it's an Atlas DCC silent engine, which is exactly the sweet spot I like. So it was a reasonably priced engine for a brand new with DCC engine. Being that it is DCC. And an N-scale sound doesn't, like, it's fun, but it's not necessary, especially since the speakers are really small. They don't really have bass or any rumble, right? So being silent and saving some money there was really a good thing. I did see a sound version for sale there, and it was $100 more for sound that sounds tinny. So I think I did the right call for that one. All right, well, it's gonna be all for tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I know it was a shorter one, and it was an impromptu.
I had a very enjoyable time here this evening, Kevin. With everybody in the chat, it was a fun chat.
It wasn't too spooky. Good night. Good night, Iceman. Good night, George, the Rabbi. The Rabbi.
Good night. Yes. Good night, everybody. Good night, Iceman. Good night to George the Rabbi. Spence too much. Yeah, spooky Spence. Yeah.
And I wish everyone a great week. I should be here next Saturday as go back to the original scheduling. And wow, right at the end, a derailment. Nice. Yes, we will have a video up on Tuesday morning. So get stoked for that, everyone. Have a good night. Yeah, Ken has been saying good night for half an hour. Well, it's been 30 minutes that I've been really tired, so it is time. All right, let's end this off.
Yes, have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night.